You know what time it is. No scripts, no filters, no fear. We said what we said and meant that. Off the record. Off the record, yeah, we keep it real, real, real. No filter shit, we say what we feel. Politics, stories, truth on display. Come on, we talk that talk in our own way. Off the record, minion the guy, let's go. Foxy 2 Roxy 3, she go hard.
I swear on everything, that is exactly what he said right here in the studio.
That is the funniest thing I have heard all week.
So hard, busy with the facts she never missed. Nah. I said what I said, that's the twist. Off the record, yeah, come and catch the vibe. Where real ones talk and the truth survive. Late night truth, we don't just speak. Nah. We pull the roots from what they keep. From pain to progress, we light the flame. No spin, no script, we call it by name. Minion bring the vision, Foxy bring the flame. Lizzie drop a seat, it'll never be the same. Never. I said what I said, say it loud, no shame. We taking truth global, remember the name. No apologies, no disguise. Just soul and purpose in our eyes. We move with power, bold and free. Say it loud, you gon' feel this energy. Cross the record. Yeah. Yeah. Say what we said. The record.
We said what we said. Off. What's good, everybody? It is off the record. How is everybody doing on this good Sunday evening? I got my host with the mostest, my partners in crime. We got I Said What I Said and Foxy 2 Roxy 3 in the building. What's good, ladies?
Everything's good.
I
How's
love
everybody
it.
doing? Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. And if y'all haven't done so already, make sure y'all hit the
Hello,
like
everybody.
button. Oh, we got Foxy on the delay. Come on, Fox.
Yeah, sound like she on the delay.
Hello, everybody. Again, happy Sunday. Welcome. Look, ready for the ride?
Oh yeah, we got a big one to talk about today. Y'all. So first off, guys, if y'all haven't done so already, like I said, make sure that y'all hit the like button. Subscribe to our channels because we do plan on making sure to keep you guys informed, not just on what's happening in the mainstream media, but also what's happening with the regular everyday people and how they're feeling about what's going on in this madness that we call our reality right now. Before I get into it though, y'all, these are the 5 people that we know so far who have been shot and killed by ICE. All right,
Wow.
guys. So, I mean, and these are Americans. So, kind of tells you where we're at right now.
Wow.
And do y'all think that these are the last ones, or do y'all think there's more Americans that's going to probably end up having to lose their lives?
Oh, definitely not the last. Definitely not the last.
Well, let's get down the
This
list.
is yeah. It's the list is going to get longer and bigger, unfortunately.
Yes,
I,
and
I
then
believe the same thing. I think it's going to be more people that's going to come in and, that's going to be unalived by this madness.
so let's talk about the five people that are up here on the screen because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys probably didn't even know about some of these people. So at the
Well,
end,
you don't want to let's speak to our guest.
oh yeah, that's right,
How about
that's
that?
right.
Because it wouldn't be no us without them, baby.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely. All
yeah.
right, well you got it. I said what I said. Let's.
Okay. So hello to you and underscore Selena 428. Welcome in and thank you for being here. We appreciate you joining us tonight. Hello to you, Michael EW5 My. He said 56 people killed while Obama was president. Okay, that's not very many people for 8 years. Okay. He said, was that okay?
Well, we gonna get into it, and we're not talking about, not necessarily what happened. I don't think that people are contesting ICE operations removing illegal criminals. I don't think anybody's contesting that, right? So we're gonna talk about it in the show. We have a lot to discuss. Trust me, there's something for everybody to offer their opinion, and we expect that you guys are going to do just that. In fact, we know that MAGA is definitely going to voice their opinion in the chat, so we want to hear it, but we also want to hear everybody else who are just level-headed, regular Americans. We want to hear your opinions as well. Um, yeah. Was that all the people to shout out?
No, we have more people coming in. While you were speaking, we have Matthew W. Gardner. He said MAGA is in the house. Okay,
All right.
welcome, MAGA.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
All that we ask is that, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You're more than welcome to put yours in the chat, but please do not attack the chat and do not attack the panel. And that's all we ask of you. And also to follow YouTube guidelines.
And if you're feeling froggy and you just feel like you just got to jump somewhere, y'all can jump into the broadcast. We can go ahead if y'all want to debate. We're more than happy to put our link in the chat so you guys can join the conversation and tell us why, you know, the most of America is wrong. All right.
Mm-hmm. We have Fish Guru in the house.
What's good, Fish?
We have the Real Brown Family Chronicles is in the house, aka Nestos. Welcome in, sis.
What's
Sis.
good?
What's happening, folks?
We
Y'all
got
make sure y'all subscribe to our girl Nestos. What's the channel name?
Survival is My Power.
There we go.
There you go. And she's a moderator on my channel, so she can put it in my chat and I can highlight it. Let's see. We have we got Robbie. Robbie the Ford 345 is in the house.
Hey, we
Welcome
didn't even
in.
say nothing yet. We already alive?
Yeah, we're lying already. And all we're doing is highlighting names.
Yeah.
And I'm reading them verbatim. We have Don B8171 in the house. Welcome, my Don. Welcome.
Welcome. What's good, Don? What is good?
We got the governor took over your property in the house. Welcome.
I like that name.
Love the
That's
name.
good.
Yes. We got Run E Tap in the house.
Okay.
We have Corey Lee in the house. Welcome, Corey. Welcome, Run. We have No Fucks Given in the house. Welcome.
That's what I'm talking about. Welcome. I hope you're on the right side of things, though. But I like your name. But either way,
We like the name
like
either
that.
way the wind blow, baby. We got Matthew Gardner 7961 in the house. Welcome. Hello to you, Matthew. Hello, Johnny. And hello. Well, it's John. We got Johnny Gems. Hello to you, Johnny Gems. So Johnny J and Johnny B is in the house. We got Johnny
What's
Black.
good,
Yeah,
Johnny?
what's good?
What's
Got all the
good?
Johnnies up in the crib today.
Yeah.
And we also have Active Reason in the house.
Okay. What's up,
Hello.
Active Reason?
Right. We got LP. Hello, LP.
What's up, LP?
We got Sweet James in the house.
All
Sweet
right.
James Jones. Okay.
Okay, Sweet James Jones.
Okay. We got Sean Rainey in the house. Welcome, Sean.
All right. What's
We
good?
got Khalik Koresh P hyphen PY4IK in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. He said he doesn't care anything about immigrants.
Hey, y'all, hit that like button if y'all want to talk about it. I mean, granted, everything that we talk about, y'all may not agree with, right? But can y'all at least do us a huge favor and support the channel by just clicking the like button? It don't even cost you anything but a little clip, a little tap on your screen. So y'all hit that like button for us.
That's right. Y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channels.
Go ahead, hit that old like button.
Go ahead and hit that old good old like button for us. I am your YouTuber in the house. Happy Sunday, Mr. YouTuber or Mrs. We have NW_bless in the house. Happy Sunday to you also. We have Tamika May. Happy Sunday. Crown Surprise. Happy Sunday. We have Jamar Aqua in the house. Aqua in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello to you, Barbara. Hello to you, Win Walker. What's good? Rich Rocks. Rich Rocks. I like that name, Rich Rocks. CC Creations 48. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have Rasty Jockey. Yeah, whatever that
Obey,
is.
consume, and reproduce. He said, "Look,
Reproduce,
y'all know
baby.
what y'all know what the hell y'all damn jobs are.
That sounds like he talking to the women.
Obey, reproduce,
And yeah.
yeah.
They almost kind of sound like marriage vows to me.
I
Hello
know,
to
right?
you, mate 675.
What's
Happy
good?
Sunday, Richie. Hello to you, Adriza. Hello, Maria. Hello, Only Mans. Hello to you, Bear Down. We have Trent Kohlhoff in the
What
house.
they say? Renee cause of death was what?
Oh, I don't know. I was just reading names, child. He said Renee autopsy results equal cause of death. Lead poisoning. Oh my.
Wow,
That's news to me.
that's dark. He's talking about the bullet being
Yeah,
loaded.
I know.
That's
That's pretty
dark.
dark.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
dark.
Woo. Child. The times that we're living in. Hello, John Cena Bon Jovi.
He said, "No,
Welcome.
this channel gay as fuck." That's
Happy
funny.
Sunday.
Oh.
We are happy though. We are very
Yeah, we
happy.
are.
I mean,
Yeah, we are happy.
And really, whatever we are, it don't have anything to do with this information we're getting ready to provide. Hello, Cora. Hello, Trisha. Hello to you. We already got a super chat. Thank you for the super chat, Miss
hey.
Rausner.
Yeah.
Oh man, look what them say.
He say those are the pictures. Those are the pictures
Oh,
of FAFO.
man.
Well, listen.
Hey,
Hey, you entitled to
that's
your
your
opinion.
opinion.
That's
your
yeah.
opinion.
We respect everyone's opinion. Ladarius, hello to you. Hello to you, Jeb Common, PG 678. Hello to you, Matthew. We got a full house tonight, baby. Hello to you, Deborah. And I'm gonna stop right here. Hello to you, Randall. Hello to everyone that's coming in, because we have to really get the show started, because I'll be sitting here all night just saying hello to everybody. So everybody, welcome. Everybody hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button
and subscribe to the channels.
and let's go, guys. Let's get this show on the road.
All right, guys. So let's just kind of to kick the show off. Let's kind of go over all of the people that you guys see on the screen, which are the American citizens that have been shot and killed by ICE. All right, so first we're gonna start off. I'm gonna start off from right and go all the way to the left. All right, so we're gonna start off on the right. You have Silverio Villegas Gonzalez. He lived in Franklin Park, Illinois, and he was killed September 12th, 2025. He's 38, and he was shot and killed by an ICE agent during a traffic stop where he tried to drive off. All right. Number four, the next person is Geraldo Lunes Campos. He died in ICE custody in El Paso on January 3rd, 2026. And the results of his autopsy was just recently, like a day ago or a couple of days ago. It was actually determined that his death was a homicide.
Hmm.
Then in the middle, you have Keith Porter Jr. that nobody really kind of they
One
talked about
second.
it.
Let me make a clarification. His name is probably Gerardo.
Oh, Geraldo. Okay.
Yeah, his name is probably Gerardo. So we want to make sure that they get the name correct, and so they'll know exactly who these great citizens are.
Hmm.
Patriots.
Right. Exactly. And yeah, and then you have Keith Porter, who was 43 years old, and during a New Year's Eve, party, he was shooting up like most people do with their guns, and an off-duty ICE officer shot and killed him. And then we have I guess, the most viral or the most noteworthy killings from ICE, which is, of course, Renee Nicole Good, who was also 37 years old, American citizen, a mom, unarmed, and she died on January 7th, 2026. And then the most recent is all the way to the left. We have Alex Jeffrey Pretti, who was in Minneapolis and who was also a 37-year-old. They love people in their 37-year-old people. But he was an ICU nurse for a veterans hospital, and we all saw the incident that took place where the ICE agent pretty much assassinated or murdered or killed this guy in cold blood. All right, so this is the roster that ICE has already going for itself. That's their building of American citizens that they have unalived. So we'll just start there.
Law force in its finest, huh?
Law enforcement at its finest.
I don't know
None
about the
of which.
finest, but ooh,
All right, so these are some of the things that we're going to talk about on today's show, just so you guys know what we're about to get into. You can make your determination, but before we do this, y'all, hit that like button. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so, because we plan on staying on the government's neck and keeping the public informed of the stuff that they don't want you to talk. They don't want us to talk about this, but we're gonna talk about it. All right, so we're gonna get into Trump's administration, and it could possibly be resembling a Nazi regime. Could we be going back to the Nazi era? We're gonna talk about
seems that
Pam
way.
Bondi and the letter that she just sent to Minnesota, where it sounds like she is extorting or possibly blackmailing the Minnesota government for voter data so that they can get that information. Cash Patel says you cannot bring guns to protests. We're going to talk about Kristi Noem and her official statement that she released on the ICE killing. Greg Bovino's interview on air where he gets humiliated by the news anchor. We're going to talk about how Minnesota is reacting to what's going on in their streets with these ICE agents kind of just going rogue and, treating these people like they're subhuman and like they have no human rights. So we're going to talk about what Minnesota is having to say about uh, what's going on. We're going to talk about the autopsy results of Renee Good and how it could potentially reveal that there was a homicide that took place. All right, JD Vance. We're going to talk about him and how he felt about Rittinghouse, another protester but a protester for the right side. All right, we're going to talk, and is there hypocrisy? We're going to talk about why black people are now coming out to support anti-ICE protests. We're going to talk about the White House posting a fake picture of the protesters from that church that got arrested. Now, they got arrested, but the White House posted a fake picture of it. So why did that happen? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how these protests are escalating in real time on live news broadcast feeds. And we're going to talk about the regular people of America reacting to witnessing a murder, an assassination in front of their eyes, and it's becoming more the normal than ever before in history. All right, guys, so we got a lot to discuss. And without further ado, let's get into the show. But before we get into the show, I said what I said, gave me this clip, just sent this clip, and I think that it definitely was worth us starting the show off with. So let's get into it with Jimmy Kimmel.
Trump's new thing is he's come up with an organization called the Board of Peace, which many normal countries fear he's forming to replace the United Nations. Of course, membership isn't free to the BOP. He's charging other world leaders $1 billion apiece to join it. He had a signing ceremony today. Look how happy he is. He's like, I'll take cash, check, Venmo, crypto, whatever you got, I will take it. And guess who he put in charge of the board?
This board has the chance to be one of the most consequential bodies ever created. And it's my enormous honor to serve as its chairman. I was very honored when they asked me to do it. We had an idea to do it, and then they came, they said
He made himself the damn chairman of his own organization that he created. Talking about, I was surprised when they asked me to be the chair. What, sir?
Yeah, he didn't want to be, though. He said he didn't want to be the chairman, though. But, they asked him.
But he created it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Child.
funny. That's Trump.
This grifter in chief, baby.
you'll be the chairman.
And what did you say? You said yes, right? I mean, they said this. What an honor to be named chairman of your own board. Almost no Western democracies sign up to be part of this, but the very sketchy leaders of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Hungary did immediately. And he invited Putin to be on the Board of Peace in his downtime when he isn't bombing Ukraine. What a group this is. They might as well call it the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
Right?
A great group of people. They're friends of mine.
Great group of people.
Let me see. Yeah, every one of them is a friend of mine. Usually I have two of them.
That's so stupid.
I got the devil.
Great people, they're great leaders.
The devil.
Was that the devil I saw? Did you see the devil in there?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
That was hilarious. I thought that was a great way to start the
Listen,
show.
and that's exactly how the administration look. Just like his Board of Peace, that's his Board of Peace. And that's exactly how his administration look as well. In
Right.
my humble opinion.
Yes.
Well, we're going to talk about how they look, y'all. We're going to talk about it. Somebody actually made a really interesting video collage in comparing them to a previous administration that went down in the history books that a lot of people probably said that they would never ever want to repeat. So we're gonna see how they draw those comparisons, and y'all let me know if there's any weight to it. All right, but before we get into that, let's look at this guy who was just shot and killed. The Alex Pretti guy, who was 37, was an ICU nurse for a veterans hospital. Now, with that information, I want you guys to take a look at him giving this eulogy.
Terrence Lee Randolph, March 30th, 1947, December 10th, 2024. Today we remember that freedom is not free. We have to work at it, nurture it, protect it, and even sacrifice for it. May we never forget and always remember our brothers and sisters who have served so that we may enjoy the gift of freedom. So in this moment, we remember and give thanks for their dedication and selfless service to our nation in the cause of our freedom. In this solemn hour, we render them our honor and our gratitude.
So is that the guy that was the domestic terrorist now? Is that the guy who was like the one who hates his country so much that he went to the damn protest to massacre all the ICE agents?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they said.
Mm-hmm. A veteran nurse at that.
Mm-hmm.
And this just makes me, it really makes me, it really makes me want to throw up. And I get the chill bumps. Every time I see this video, I get chill bumps looking at this crap. How this poor man had to lose his life over nothing. And even if he was in their face, because I said that, a time before, I don't feel like the protesters should antagonize ICE, but at the same time, ICE shouldn't have the capacity and the mindset of just taking American citizens out because they don't like what they're doing, i.e. protest or yelling and screaming at them or whatever. This is the United States of America. Freedom of speech, last I checked, was still free. Last I checked, you could film anybody outside. What the law said, if it's outside, what is it? It's public.
Keep going down this rate, the last time it may be the last time you checked that we had free speech. Because if we keep going, we may not have it any longer. You may be recalling the last time that we had that you checked. Because at this point, I don't get.
What bothers me most of all is when they do these shootings, they walk away. They don't check on the person. They don't, law enforcement, they're supposed to stay on the scene. They do not depart. They do not leave the scene of a shooting. And they keep leaving the scene like, okay, I did my job. Y'all deal with it and walk away. That's not how that shows that they are not trained properly.
What is the end goal? Are we going after illegal criminal aliens, or are we going to posture in the street against American citizens just to perform for a performative theater for the American people and for people around the world to look at us destroying our own country, going against the very people who are paying these people salaries? It's mind shattering thinking how someone on any side could say what ICE is doing is okay when they're supposed to be targeting illegal criminal immigrants. But every day we are looking at a protest that's getting larger and larger because the people are tired of having their rights violated. Fuck the Constitution. They spit, piss, and shit on the Constitution every day that ICE is in Minnesota. And people are okay with this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I was just going to add, and everywhere else, because they're not just in Minnesota. Remember, they're traveling around the United States. And, at the end of the day, we're funding this shit. They got like one of the biggest budgets in the world. Have you ever heard of anything of such nature? Have you ever heard of anything ever where ICE, as far as America goes, because ICE haven't even been around that long. But how the heck do they have a budget of a world economy? Of another foreign country's military economy? Budget. Not economy, but budget. And so they cutting all the programs for the everyday American public just so that they can fund ICE. They took away your health care so that they can fund ICE. They took away Medicare. They took away Medicaid. They're taking away the educational system turn down all the government entities only so that they could fund ICE, and then ICE come and take us out, and we're paying for all of that. We're paying
Right.
them to take us out.
Exactly.
And they in Maine now, and they're using now the administrative subpoenas to go in people's houses. So basically, if you moved in somewhere where an immigrant used to live, they have the right to come in your house and raid your house to see if they're in there or not. So that's something for you all to think about. This is your house. This is where you live, and they got administrative subpoena to come into your house. If you don't, they'll lock you up or harass you like they're doing everybody else out there on the street. So y'all take that into thought. This is the new law they got now.
Mm-hmm. Well, they, maybe they'll wake up, when we become Germany.
Yeah.
The old
When
Germany, though, not the new Germany, the old Germany. When we
yeah, when
become
they're
the
getting
old
rounded
Germany,
up,
yeah,
when they're getting rounded up, then they're gonna be like,
uh-huh,
wait, hold on.
going to these different camps that they trying to set up.
Yeah. So in fact, speaking of, let's talk about these MAGA extremists, because there are a lot of MAGA extremists, right? And I really can't even in my mind picture a black person being next to a MAGA supporter and thinking that MAGA supporter looks at them as equal. I just can't even, I can't wrap my mind around how a black person can think that because they claim MAGA some kind of way magically now they can take advantage of the white privilege that the most of the MAGA are able to enjoy on a day-to-day basis. But however, they still tend to whatever. But because of this MAGA movement, it has emboldened these racist white supremacists to come out publicly. Now they are coming out publicly, but they are not showing their faces. Let's just be very clear. They do not want their identities revealed whatsoever, but they want to come out and show the public that they are here, they are organized, and they are in full effect. In fact, when we look at this video, I'm going to take the sound, I removed the sound so there's no copyright, but I want you guys, while you're looking at these people, tell me who they remind you of.
I can tell you.
So we're looking at a white supremacist movement. This is the new KKK. This is how they look now. Like Americans, right? With American flags, with masks.
They look like ICE to me with them masks on.
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. Hate groups posing as if they are patriots, posing as if they are religious. Look, this man holding the cross with Jesus.
Wow. Propaganda at its finest.
So I just want, these are all MAGA. I just want to know, when you black and you standing next to somebody that's not in this protest, do you know if they were part of this? They say jail ICE because you're prejudiced. MAGA loves pedophiles. You ever heard of Clarence Thomas? Jail Trump. Yeah, y'all. So, white supremacist minority. Ain't no privilege. No such thing as white privilege. You know what? I'm glad
Not anymore.
this person said that, because we are going to be evaluating what white privilege is in 2026.
It used to be, if it was white, it was right, but now anybody
whites
can
gotta
catch it.
stay in line. Now
Yeah, they
whites
gotta
can
stay in
get out of
line now.
place.
Right.
They gotta know their place too.
Yeah.
And if they don't, you get treated just like the rest of them.
And remember, the ICE agent said we all gonna learn. We're all gonna learn what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
No such thing as white privilege. I'm here to tell you. Yeah, yeah. They came from over here and get housing and government assistance. We should stand here and take it. Yeah, you guys are going crazy in the chat. So what I'm gonna do is let me go ahead and put the
Yeah,
comments on the.
yeah, that. I was gonna tell you to put it on subscriber mode.
Oh yeah, let's put it on subscriber mode. How we do
Yeah.
that?
Well, let's figure it out.
Let me. Can you go to my channel? Are you able to log in under my channel?
I
I
don't.
mean, under our channel.
I
Uh,
don't. I'll try.
let me
Go ahead and
see.
finish with the show, and
All
I'll
right.
try. I'll try
All
to
right.
log in.
Okay, guys. So let's go to the next topic. So MAGA. I don't know where the compassion, the human decency, just the. I mean, just looking at people as regular human beings before even Americans, before being a Democrat, before being a Republican. Where is our humanity? Like, I think that MAGA has gotten to a point of no return to where they are just willing to say the most evil and vile things, and they love it. And they get off on this type of stuff. So, someone posted, MAGA, of course, how do you think ICE is doing in Minnesota? Pretty, which is the last name of Alex. Good, which is the last name of Renee.
It's just evil. That's just, to me, it's just dark and evil. They're making jokes of these people that lost their lives. And I'm like, how would you feel it was one of your people? Would you feel that it's okay for them to make jokes about one of your loved ones?
This is retarded.
Right. This is just evil. It's just evil for you to put something like that up there.
Yeah, so, and then, it was funny because somebody had made a comparison and they said that, it's weird because the year, you guys see, this was the year that the man on our screen, this is the year that he died.
A few moments later.
Then you have him born the exact year later. Could it be that Trump is the reincarnation?
It could be. It could be.
Well, like I said, they did a very good comparison. You guys can see it on your screen. I removed the music, but you guys can see the stark comparison and
Oh my
similarities
Lord.
to what
Yeah.
we. This is our new America.
Yeah.
This.
This is our new America. And the sad
All
part
right.
is people love it. They love this.
Well, see, I'm gonna play another video later on from someone who made a video about their travel to see the actual location and what's remained. And they actually
Mm-hmm.
brought up some very, very good points. So we're gonna talk about that when we get to that part. But let's talk about Pam Bondi because now they're saying that Pam Bondi is trying to extort the state of Minnesota so that she can extract voter data from Minnesota. And people are saying it's in an effort to make sure that they don't have to have an election anymore. So there's some conspiracy theory with it, but I think that it's based in fact because we see what's happening. So let's look at it.
Hey, folks,
Yes.
Adrian Fontes, Arizona Secretary of State. Really disturbing piece of information just surfaced. The Department of Justice, Pam Bondi, just sent a letter to Minnesota state officials telling them, basically trying to blackmail them and saying they will remove ICE officials from the state of Minnesota in exchange for the voter rolls and the sensitive data, which is the same type that I've been protecting here in Arizona, by refusing to turn it over, just like my friend Secretary Steve Simon in Minnesota. Here's the bottom line. A, they're not entitled to that data. B, this isn't leadership. This is blackmail. This is the way organized crime works. They move into your neighborhood, they start beating everybody up, and then they extort what they want. This is not how America is supposed to work. And I'm embarrassed that the administration is pushing in this direction. I'm Adrian Fontes, Arizona Secretary of State, and I'm going to continue to fight against the Department of Justice and their ridiculous and illegal requests for your personal identifying information.
We have some major news in the aftermath of the brutal murder of a second American citizen at the hands of the Trump regime, and it concerns the least popular member of the Trump administration.
Okay, so now we're going to get into the Pam Bondi video, but I thought it was important to show that statement from Adrian Fontes to corroborate the fact that this letter has been circulated.
Beleaguered Attorney General Pam Bondi, whose incompetence is legendary, such that she's not only facing backlash from Trump privately, reportedly, but also public calls from prominent MAGA and Republican figures calling for her to either resign or be fired, which of course makes her even more dangerous and incompetent because she's so desperate. And the way this dovetails in with what happened to Alex Pretti, the murder of Alex Pretti, is this.
And that is true because, you know, when your back is against the wall, you will push the limits and do whatever it takes. So
Try to make that impression.
Right? Or either if I'm going to go, I'm going to go out with a bang.
Exactly.
Check the back chat.
Okay. Let me play this and I'll get that set up.
In the aftermath of his murder, she sent a letter to Minnesota leaders essentially saying that they might re-examine the law enforcement operation in Minnesota if Minnesota grants the federal government, the Trump administration, access to Minnesota's voting rolls, exposing Pam Bondi's attempt to blackmail Minnesota so that the Trump administration can try to rig future elections. Very transparent, and we have to lay it out. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, folks, first things first, we got to talk about this interview that Pam Bondi had on Fox News about the murder of Alex Pretti. And it dovetails into this letter that she sent, which has now gone public. Okay, let's start with this.
I was there all week, as you saw. I was in Minneapolis, and we are going to protect our churches. We are going to protect our great men and women in law enforcement who were out there doing their jobs today. They were out there arresting a violent offender, and then this guy comes up. I can't talk about more of the details. Chief Bovino talked about that. It's now all pending, but we will support the men and women in law enforcement, and we will support the good citizens of Minnesota if the governor and that mayor aren't going to do it.
So again, she's...
And that mayor isn't going to do it. Who does she think she is? That was so funny to me.
I know she sounds so fake, like she's so outraged.
Right. Yeah.
And
Fake outrage.
This is how it's gonna be. Right.
Just, I mean,
So that
just
was
like
somewhere.
she sounds like a to-be actress, a Timu actress.
desperate. She's wildly unpopular. Everybody wants her to get fired because she sucks at her job. She's desperate to try to spin this, suggesting that Alex Pretti was somehow responsible for his murder. Of course, that's been debunked. Here's another clip.
Observation, AG, the way that they've been reacting to this. I mean, you saw the press conference with Mayor Jacob Fry. We've put up the tweets from Governor Tim Walz. There's not a whole lot of asking for calm. Instead, it's a lot more of get out. You know, ICE, get out. President Trump, get your people out. We're trying to protect our neighbors. Do you feel like that is rhetoric that's contributing to this?
Well, we saw the mayor said, F ICE, get out of my effing city. How is that not rhetoric contributing to this? It all is. And that's the shame of it. Look at these murderers, homicide, rape, homicide, manslaughter. That's who they're trying to protect in Minnesota. I do not understand these people. We sent Governor Walz a very strong letter today.
We sent Governor Walz a very strong letter today.
And I guarantee you, anybody on that list is not an immigrant. And no one said that we didn't have crime in America. And at the end of the day, I'm sorry, but most Caucasians commit the crimes. Yeah, they have a higher rate than any other race. Okay?
Right.
And
then,
so...
with the rape and all of that, and raping, I'm like, you gonna ship everybody? Because there's a whole lot of rapists out there. You gonna ship them all?
Yeah, but they're not on that. But what I'm saying is the people that's on that list are more than likely are not illegal immigrants. That's just a list of criminals that she found in the state, like every state has. And that's all I'm saying. All the states have criminals. We're not saying that. What we are saying is you said that you were going to arrest illegal immigrants that are criminals. And based on your verbiage and what you're saying, you're doing the opposite. You're arresting American citizens that's clearly a citizen, and you're unaliving them. Not so much that you're arresting them, you're actually just taking us out only because we want to voice our opinion, use our First Amendment right, and only because we want to film everything that you guys are doing.
And we are going to film everything that you guys are doing, whether or not you like it or not, because that's our First Amendment right to do so.
And you can't kill everybody.
That part.
Right. And we can't allow for an administration to demonize and make a narrative to where people who are only exercising their constitutional rights are now all of a sudden they're the enemies of the United States.
And terrorists just because they're exercising constitutional rights, which they don't believe. I don't think MAGA believe in the damn Constitution.
I don't think so either, because the first thing they came up with when they're domestic. They domestic terrorists. Everybody is domestic terrorists if they say no.
Oh, and let me go ahead and advise guys, I did put it on subscriber only mode for the chat. So you will need to subscribe to the chat if you want to put your outrageous, outlandish comments in the chat. Then you need to go ahead and subscribe, because we ain't got time for y'all thinking that this is, just a way for y'all to just go on different people's channels and troll, just for the shock value. So
yeah, buckle in and listen up.
Exactly.
We had been working on this letter.
That's the letter she's talking about. We'll read it in just a second, but please note it because she previewed this on Fox News.
We got it out saying that he better support President Trump. He better support the men and women in law enforcement, because if he doesn't, we are. And that's what we're doing right now.
Were there any consequences in this letter?
Well, we'll see. This is fluid. Let's see how Governor Walz responds. Let's see what he does based on this, based on what's happening right now.
This is literally the worst acting I have ever seen. Well, let's see. We'll see what he does. Once he reads that letter, we will see what he does and how he responds.
Girl, we're going to see you in an unemployment line next week.
And he better listen to Donald Trump, President Donald Trump. He better. That sounds like
how can anyone take her serious? She sounds
silly. She sounds like
you can hear it. She's
oh, my bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you was playing it.
No, go ahead. What you saying?
Well, I was just gonna say she just sounds like a damn puppet on a string. Is what she sounds like,
Exactly.
in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yes.
And she sounded like she wanted to be known that she's a puppet on the string. Because, I mean, like, I would say Kristi Noem gives a more convincing performance.
Right.
It
With
just seems,
with her costumes and shit.
yeah. We're gonna get Kristi and her costumes, but I would say she seems a little bit more believable. Like she actually is drinking the Kool-Aid. Pam Bondi looked like she just playing the role so she could get through this administration.
Go along to get along, baby.
My thing is
Yes,
when she said, he better. Remember how you sit back and tell your child, you better do what I tell you to do? You better. So she sounds like she's talking to a bunch
That's what make it
of
sound.
children.
But that's what make it sound so fake.
And those
Fake-
people that
fake
say it like
outrage.
that, and,
Yeah.
and the people
Yeah.
and those mamas that say it like that, kids be
Yeah.
all over the place, be running over
He's
them
bad
and
as
all.
hell. Yeah, because they ain't gonna never
Exactly.
get no whooping. So
You better stop it, Jimmy.
Yeah, they're not
You
even.
better stop it right now. All right.
The threats.
Yeah.
She's out of her depth. She knows her ass is on the line, politically speaking, because MAGA hates her, liberals hate her, everybody hates her, and rightly so. She sucks at her job. Now, that's Bondi. Okay? The letter is referenced again on Fox News following Bondi's interview.
My hands on this letter that the AG was saying that she sent to Governor Tim Walz, and a couple of things in this letter. It is a strongly worded letter.
Strongly worded letter.
Things that the AG is calling for from the governor. Number one, of course, is to help support the men and women of ICE and help support to help them uphold the rule of law. Second, she's calling on the governor to repeal the state sanctuary policies. That's not likely to happen. And number three, to allow the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice to access voter rolls to confirm Minnesota.
See, this is what you was
What's the
talking
fee?
about.
Okay, it's okay, Paul. Paul, stand by.
So again, that crackle there, he said he lost the feed, but she acknowledged, the host did, that the Justice Department is trying to negotiate to get access to Minnesota's voting rolls. So we'll look at the letter in just a second. But
She wasn't
first,
supposed to
this is
say
the
that.
response of Democratic Senator Chris Murphy to.
So let me pause real quick. So y'all notice how the feed had did that little, when she was starting to talk about stuff she ain't had no business talking about.
Yeah, because Pawpaw was on the phone screaming and hollering.
Yeah.
Get her ass off the show! Off the show! Get her off the show!
She heard a ringing in the air. Dude, stop!
Yeah. Stop it! But that's something that Fox News will do. They will save them. When they start talking too much, baby, they cut them off. They cut Pawpaw off. And the rest of and everybody else, even Democrats, when they come over there and get to popping off too much for them, they'll cut them off also when they start speaking too many facts. They don't like truth and facts, and so Pete Buttigieg, he goes over there all the time. They cut him smooth off because he started talking too real for them, and they don't want to hear the truth. This is this administration's propaganda machine, the loudest voice that they have, and they have a lot of people convinced, that they're telling the truth. And so when the truth start coming out on the channels, it depends on what Rupert Murdoch feel, how he feel for the day, because he'll pawpaw also. Okay, he's in his 90s. So if Rupert get up and feel like he want to be pawpaw friend for the day, then he let it ride. But if he don't want to be his friend, then he just let everything play out. So that's why sometimes you see Agent Orange on Truth Social talking about Fox, and when he really mad at Fox or whatever, those are the days that Rupert Murdoch want to get his get back at him. When you think of something that happened in 55.
Right.
That he didn't like.
Another old pawpaw.
Yeah. Grandpa's in charge. Baby, this is the season for the pawpaws. Okay, they all in charge. They in charge of all of it, everything.
And they ain't going out without a fight. Well, he not.
Pam Bondi's extortionist blackmail letter.
By now, you've seen this horrific video, another individual killed in Minnesota. It's just fucking awful, the inhumanity of this. We cannot fund ICE as it is constituted today. But we found out something else really important today. Pam Bondi sent a letter to state officials in Minnesota in which she made a list of demands for ICE to leave Minneapolis. And one of those demands was that the state turn over its voter rolls to the federal government. This has never been about public safety. Minneapolis is a much less safe place today because ICE is there. This is likely about trying to rig and steal the election. Donald Trump is wildly unpopular. He is not committed to democracy. And he knows the only way that his movement is to retain power, the only way that his corporate allies retain power, his billionaire allies retain power this November, is for Trump to steal the election. And so he's saying to Minneapolis, if you don't give me control of the voter rolls, then ICE isn't leaving. And you can see that if he gets away with it in Minnesota, he's likely going to try it in places like Philadelphia and Phoenix, other key cities in swing states. So understand why it's so important for us to draw a line. I have been arguing all weekend that the Senate should not pass funding for the Department of Homeland Security. First and foremost, because this is a rogue agency that is operating outside of the law and is killing American citizens. But also because the underlying game here may be to steal the 2026 election. And no senator, but in particular no Democratic senator, should play a part in that.
So that's Senator Chris Murphy. This video has gone viral, exposing the nefarious intent behind the letter. Matt McDermott of, I think, Media Matters, if I remember correctly. Now I'm second guessing myself. No, he's a Democratic strategist. I apologize. I thought he was with Media Matters. Says, as insane as this sounds, it's true. Pam Bondi sent Minnesota officials a letter today saying ICE would leave the state if Minnesota turns over its voter files to the Trump administration. They're openly using state violence as a bargaining chip to seize election infrastructure. Second, repeal the sanctuary policies that have led to so much crime and violence in your state. Removing criminal illegal aliens from Minnesota neighborhoods will save lives, and state and local officials should support this goal. All the detention facilities in your state should cooperate fully with ICE, honor immigration detainers, and permit ICE to interview detainees in custody to determine immigration status. I urge you to reach an agreement with ICE that allows them to remove illegal aliens in custody of Minnesota's prisons and jails and avoids pushing these interactions into your streets. Third, allow the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice to access voter rolls to confirm that Minnesota's voter registration practices comply with federal law as guaranteed by the Civil Rights Act of 1960. Fulfilling this common sense request will better guarantee free and fair elections and boost confidence in the rule of law. I'm confident that these three simple steps will bring back law and order to Minnesota and improve the lives of Americans. The time has come for state and local officials in your state to change course. As the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the United States, I am committed to enforcing federal immigration laws and keeping every American safe. Minnesota can and should partner with this administration. Do not obstruct federal immigration enforcement. Do not allow rioters to take over the streets and houses of worship. Do not hinder federal officials from investigating financial fraud and violations of election laws. Whether state and local politicians stand in the way or not, we will work every day to protect Americans and make Minnesota safe again. I request that you join us in that effort. So it does seem like an attempt to extort or blackmail Minnesota with, perhaps some concessions or cooperation in ICE's conduct in exchange, at least in part, for access to voter rolls. And of course, when they say we want to guarantee free and fair elections, she's an election denier. She denies that President Biden won the 2020 election, and she works for the biggest and most dangerous election denier in American history, Donald Trump himself, who himself attempted to steal a free and fair election in 2020 with his fake electors plot and then the violent insurrection at the Capitol. So they have no credibility on this topic.
All right. So, we can stop it there. But that pretty much sums up what Pam Bondi is trying to do right now.
How you gonna send a mob shakedown letter
Exactly. Exactly.
God
This
brought the
is what I'm.
shakedown letter. Yeah, this is preposterous. It's crazy.
Well, look,
Like,
look, they're doing a
like
mob.
this
Look,
is
they doing
mob
straight.
actions.
Like
This
it's
is
mob actions all over. Look who's the
mob
head of the mob.
101.
Look who's the head of the mob. Already threatening Greenland and Cuba and
Right.
every place
It's
else.
crazy.
Now you mob action in the cities of the United States. This is crazy.
This is a whole shakedown. A whole shakedown.
Now, mind you guys, we all know that Alex Pretti had a license to carry his gun. We all know that not only did he have a license to carry, it's an open concealed state, and his gun was concealed.
That everybody's always crying about.
And we know that conservatives are the biggest advocates for people having guns. So I don't understand why him having a gun is such a big deal now. But at this point, they're saying that, well, Kash Patel is saying that, look, if you're going to come to protest, you better come unarmed.
Well, I hope,
Now the Trump
you got the NRA clip because he got pissed off about all this.
And now the Trump administration is responding to the second fatal shooting
I don't
this
know
month
if I
of an
had
American citizen in Minneapolis at the hands of a federal agent. ABC Justice and Homeland Security reporter Luke Barr joins me now with the latest. Luke, Kash Patel appeared on Fox News Sunday today saying Americans cannot bring loaded firearms to protests. What else did he have to say?
Yeah, he did, and we do have some sound of that. Let's take a listen to what the director said first here, Ike.
But as Secretary Noem said, no one who wants to be peaceful shows up at a protest with a firearm that is loaded with 2 full magazines. That is not a peaceful protest, and you do not get to touch law enforcement. You do that anywhere, this FBI is going to be leading the charge to arrest those.
Yeah, Ike, and he also said that, quote, you cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest. He said it's that simple. You don't have that right to break the law and incite violence. And he also confirmed in that Fox hit that the Department of Homeland Security is actually leading this investigation with an assist from the FBI. That he said that the FBI is in possession of the firearm and they're running tests, but so far it's a DHS investigation, Ike.
So we have the FBI and the DHS saying that you cannot bring loaded firearms to protests. So how are Second Amendment advocates responding to that?
Well, on X and other social media posts, there is some concern about that statement. But on the record, the Minnesota Gun Owners Caucus said in a statement, quote, they are deeply concerned about the shooting that occurred yesterday and are hoping that an investigation plays out fully to see what happens. They say, quote, every peaceable Minnesotan has the right to keep and bear arms, including while attending protests, acting as observers, or exercising their First Amendment rights. These rights do not disappear when someone is lawfully armed, and they must be respected and protected at all times, Ike.
Luke, Attorney General Pam Bondi is blaming Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey for the events unfolding in Minnesota right now. What is she saying about federal agents leaving the state, and how is Governor Walz responding to this?
Yeah, so she sent a letter to the governor and in part said, quote, the lawlessness in the streets is matched by the unprecedented financial fraud occurring on your watch. She said, and the out-of-control fraud in your state also implicates election security. It's a tragedy that Americans have lost faith in Minnesota's ability to keep the taxpayers' funds secure and the citizens safe. Now, she also outlined 3 things, according to her, that Minnesota has to do in order to get aligned with the administration. And the last one is turning over voter rolls for the state. Now, the other 2 are ending the sanctuary jurisdiction and turning over Medicaid and SNAP databases to the Justice Department so they can investigate they alleges fraud. This is, of course, concerning some because it amounts to, the Attorney General offering conditions, it appears, for the federal agents to leave Minneapolis.
Okay, conditions that don't appear to align with the immigration calls that they were supposedly sent there in the first place. Okay, Luke Barr.
Okay, I have a problem with that clip.
Why? What's going on?
They said the gun was loaded with two mags. Two mags. No gun has two mags in it unless it's one of those semi-automatic. He had a pistol. No pistol had two mags in them.
I think that the biggest thing though is it never played a part in the interaction that they had with him. He didn't pull it out. No one knew he had it until the ICE agent removed it off of his person, and then the other agent, proceeded to shoot him in his back like 12 times. So I just don't even see why it's a part of the conversation, because it just didn't even play a role in the interaction that he had with the officers, in which he was actually trying to assist a woman who was just knocked down. He wasn't even interacting with them. They decided to approach him. So again,
And the reason why I brought that up, because they exaggerates on so many parts of this thing. So they was like, they making it seem like that gun has so many mags in it and so many rounds in it.
Right.
And that's why I had to correct that with, he had anybody out here that have a gun know that there's not two mags and no small hand firearm. So that's the thing that, he's making it seem like, oh, he had two rounds. The gun was loaded with two mags rounds. No, he didn't. They showed the gun on the picture of the gun with one mag. I mean, he don't
I'm
even know
glad that you even brought that up, because let's listen to Kristi Noem speak literally maybe 2 hours after the shooting and offer an official statement that was identical to Greg Bovino's statement, the director of ICE. So let's listen to that, and
no, you're saying they're saying the same speech.
Oh yeah. They issued the exact same, identical, verbatim, word for word speech, as
this is a playbook straight out of the Nazi playbook.
I'm telling you, they all have to say the same message. It's all strategic.
Child.
But and like you said, a playbook that unfortunately we know far too well. Well, maybe we don't know it well enough, because it looks like
that's what I was thinking. Maybe we need to reread that book. Some people need to read it for the first time, and some people need to, go back and reread it again, because this is basically what this is: Nazism 101. And they're playing straight from, they're getting the playbook, just pulling it page by page.
Well, he said that he liked Hitler. He said, I envy Hitler. I love Hitler.
It's the only book that he's ever read.
And that's the one he's talk about. He talked about Hitler.
Allegedly.
And that was an audio book, so.
Look, he said, I like Hitler. I like the things that he did. So he basically tell you, I like Hitler.
Yeah, and we know who his friends are.
And then remember, what's his name came up there and did the Hitler salute. So, and he didn't have a problem with
Kristi,
it.
the one that we're about to watch right now, she actually did a speech right after. Well, she did her statement right after Renée Good's death, and she was standing in front of a podium that read, "One of us, all of yours," so or all of theirs, or something like that. So, which is also a nod back to, Nazi, Hitler,
all these dog whistles.
Yeah. So
and
let's
if you know.
And so let's watch what Kristi Noem says about Alex Pretti's death. Now, mind you guys, this is a ICU nurse who worked at a veterans hospital.
Here we are with Marco and Brian today. They're letting me roll with them. We're going to go out and pick up somebody who I think is got charges of human trafficking. We earlier had an op that swept up somebody who was wanted for murder. So appreciate the good work that they do every day, and we appreciate them working to make America safe.
Oh yeah, I had to throw in the clip of her doing her cosplay. It's not a full day's work until she puts on the costume and records herself doing some type of speech. So, yeah, I included that before we watched the clip. But yeah, y'all see, what is this for? What is she gonna do with this gun? This is clearly cosplay. You know what
And
I'm
and
saying?
I don't think she understands wearing that vest is illegal. It is illegal for her to wear that vest. But I digress.
Well, and she looks like a dumbass for wearing it.
But before I take any questions and give more details on the storm and its impact, I do want to address the tragic situation that we saw in Minneapolis today that unfolded on the streets. It occurred with DHS law enforcement as they carried out their lawful duties to keep Americans safe in the threat of criminal illegal aliens in this country. At 9:05 a.m. Central Time, the Department of Homeland Security law enforcement officials and officers were conducting targeted operations in Minneapolis against an illegal alien whose criminal history included domestic assault with intentionally inflicting bodily harm, disorderly conduct, and driving without a valid license. An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9.
That's about 80% of MAGA. So why I don't understand why that record is what she's harping. Like that's not how you gonna make him look like a criminal in their eyes. Like they all do.
That's not just MAGA, really everyday American.
Everyday American.
Now everybody wrong, baby.
In addition, and I was about to say, and this is probably the lighter sentences for the MAGA folks. They probably get down and dirty. So
that's why a lot of people in some of these large metropolitan cities don't, fuss about having insurance, because a lot of times they be in accidents because people are not insured. They don't have valid driver's license. So that's not a crime. That's something that happens every day.
Exactly. Oh.
But before I take any questions and give more detail, the threat of criminal illegal aliens. It occurred situation that we saw in Minneapolis today that unfolded on the streets. It occurred with DHS law enforcement as they carried out their lawful duties to keep Americans safe in the threat of criminal illegal aliens in this country.
So their lawful duty was to push that woman down?
Yeah, push that, run up on that woman, push her down like they did that 73-year-old man and broke his ribs. Just run up and push him down, and he hit the curb and broke 3 ribs. But they were illegal immigrants. They were getting.
You guys got to understand, that's the policy, and that's what they were trained to do.
That's what they were trained to do. What's up, SBK?
Hey, SBK, that's their policy, and these are their procedures. I don't think you guys are getting it.
Exactly. No, we get it. We get it. But let's not pretend like this is under the guise of trying to instill law and order into, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, I would rather you just tell us, just be upfront. Just tell us what you're really trying to do. You ain't got to try to gaslight us. And if y'all want a fascist Nazi regime, then let us know that. Let us know what the game plan is. That way people can make their decision, and you probably won't even be met with so much resistance. People can make their decision if they, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we could work some things out. But
it's their policy and their procedures. They're following orders.
It's the gaslighting for me. Like, we're just stupid.
All right.
Right. And you got to remember, you got to believe your lying eyes. Don't believe what you see. Believe what we tell you, not what you see.
5 a.m. Central Time, the Department of Homeland Security law enforcement officials and officers were conducting targeted operations in Minneapolis against an illegal alien whose criminal history included domestic assault with intentionally inflicting bodily harm, disorderly conduct, and driving without a valid license. An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun.
And look at his
The
eyes.
officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently. Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics were on the scene immediately and attempted to deliver medical aid to the subject, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 magazines with ammunition in them that held dozens of rounds. He also had no ID. This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at the scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement. About hundreds of protesters then showed up at the scene. They began to obstruct and to assault law enforcement officers. We saw objects being thrown at them, including ice and other objects, and a rampant assault began, and even an HSI officer agent's finger was bitten off. Crowd control measures were deployed to bring safety to the public and to law enforcement at the scene. And once again, I want to remind everybody that this situation and this tragedy did not have to happen. Our law enforcement are...
Yeah, because you guys don't have to be terrorizing the damn state of Minneapolis.
Well, I wondered if she got some parentheses in her speech.
I mean,
you remember what you just told me a while ago before we started the show?
you're
with
so
the grits?
silly. Right. Yeah. No, that was definitely something that she was given to say. But how many lies were there in that speech alone? Like, we clearly
all of it.
saw.
Every word she said was a lie. The only thing she got right was he was a 37-year-old man.
And he died at the scene.
And he died at the scene. Other than that, everything else was a lie.
Okay.
A lie and a lie.
Somebody, the paramedics was on the scene right away. No, they won't.
Lie.
They finished shooting the man and
Wait a
walked
minute.
away.
I didn't see nobody attacking nobody. When was everybody life threatened is what I want to know. Because I need to look at this clip again because, child, I didn't see nobody threatened.
First off, this was one man who was not approaching ICE officers. He was approached by ICE officers. He was assisting a young lady who had just got pushed down unnecessarily by a ICE officer trying to be cruel and mean and vindictive, and he was helping that woman. But let's go back to the part where it's only one guy, and then you have 6, 7, 8 agents on one person. You mean to tell me that y'all can't apprehend? Y'all were kicking this man, beating this man on the ground face down. You mean to tell me that y'all at any of those points where y'all were lunging those kicks and using pistols to fight, beat him, you mean to tell me y'all couldn't get his 2 arms behind his back and handcuff him? What kind of training are they doing where it takes 6, 7, 8 agents to go on one person and they still don't feel safe? They still feel like they have to disarm their gun and discharge and shoot the man in cold blood. Not even
after
not
he
just
was
one
on the
or twice,
ground.
12 times.
But after he was on the ground, after y'all done beat him and kicked him and, did everything you could to him. So he didn't pose a threat. How do you pose a threat and you're on the ground getting beat up and you're under the knees and knuckles of 4 or 5 or 6 or however many people it was, 7, 8 people. So I want to know, how did he pose a threat to them lying there on the ground with them on top of him?
And then once you fired the first shot, you should have fired to neutralize the threat. Meaning that if you saw a gun in his hand, maybe you shoot his hand. But you shot him in his back. He fell on the ground. Threat neutralized. And then you go round after round after round after round after round after round into this man's back. So,
and then when you finish, you walk away and look back at him like he was trash and walked away. Didn't stand there and see if the man, nothing. You just walk away after you finish shooting, like you did with the lady. Just walk away and get in your, go about your business. Like, okay, come get him.
That's part of protocol and procedures and training.
So that's, I mean,
wait a minute, and then you did not put him on administrative leave for this. You did not put him on administrative leave for the investigation. You put him in another area and kept him and let him still work. Even the police department the FBI, everybody has to be on administrative leave in the shooting before you could go back to work. You let this man go on, these people going back to work somewhere else.
To shoot another person. Thing. Right, exactly. To kill again.
Right. It's just a procedure. Y'all keep saying policies and procedure, but they're not doing the procedures. I'm sorry, let me calm down.
No, they doing their procedure.
They're doing everything that they can to protect the public. We're praying for this deceased loved one's family and friends, but we also recognize that the Minnesota governor and the Minneapolis mayor need to take a long, hard look in the mirror. They need to evaluate their rhetoric, their conversations, and their encouragement of such violence against our citizens and our law enforcement officers. I'll remind you that Governor Walz today in his press conference said.
So they need to turn down their rhetoric, but you can call this deceased ICU nurse a terrorist?
This is what MAGA do, though. They try to flip the script on you. They play the victim. They do all this terrorizing, and then they go back and try to play the victim as if they're in the right.
Right. And the FU, the middle finger to their family, after trying, I mean, just the cold-heartedness of it, after you just basically called their son a mass murderer, because you said he wanted to come there with his gun with the intent to cause maximum, whatever word she used, I don't even remember, but like he was about to massacre everyone. And then you're going to say, and our prayers are with the family.
With a pistola. With an old pistola, and about what? 12 bullets, like Barney Fife and Andy Griffin. You girl, go somewhere. Sit down, Kristi.
Wait a minute, no. He didn't have 12. He had 24 in one little gun. 24 bullets.
Yeah.
He had a double mag.
No. Each mag had multiple dozens, had many dozens of bullets to them. So,
yeah. And he didn't bring no posse with him. He gonna do it all by himself.
All by himself. Yeah.
That our officers were not even law enforcement, which is a lie. He's called them the Gestapo. He's encouraged residents and citizens and violent rioters to resist.
If the shoe fit,
He's blocked their identities, putting themselves and their
These
families'
are
lives
government.
in jeopardy.
Hold on, wait a minute. What you mean dox their identities? We pay their salaries. They're funded by taxpayers, so who hires people that they don't know who the hell that is working for them?
And the thing is, the police department, they're not wearing those masks, and they out here every day showing their faces. So
because they're tax badges, identification, and all of that.
They have tax-funded jobs. We pay their salaries, so ain't no hiding behind no mask. When
ain't no doxing, baby.
Yeah. Fuck you mean? They can go into the private sector and work a job if they don't want to get doxed. But they're in a federal position. Ain't no such thing as fucking doxing a federal agent.
While we're paying your salary.
Right. And then the thing that gets me is all the police officers out here, just like with the George Floyd, that police officer didn't have a mask on, and he was doxxed, and he's still here. So, what makes them more special?
If you ain't doing shit you ain't supposed to be doing, you wouldn't have to be hiding.
That part. And you act
I don't
like
even want to finish
superior.
this bitch out. We go.
You act like they so superior over every other law enforcement. They are the high superiors. You make the FBI, CIA, all these other government agencies, law enforcement look like they less than ICE. ICE is the number one, law enforcement of the United States. They're not.
Well, let's talk about ICE, because the director of ICE was grilled on a CNN interview. So we're gonna look at it, and we're just gonna kind of do our little review, but we're gonna talk about it as we go. So
here with me now is U.S. Border Patrol Commander-at-Large Greg Bovino. Thank you for being here, sir. You are still in Minneapolis, and I want to get to a lot of questions that we have that are unanswered. First and foremost is that Alex Pretti approached Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. I want to go back to one of the videos, and I know you can see it there, and I want to ask you about what you're seeing, because multiple angles of this incident show him holding up a cell phone and recording it, not a gun. Did he at any point pull out his weapon?
Dana, good morning, and thanks for having me. The weapon, and we do know that the suspect did bring a weapon, a loaded 9mm high-capacity handgun to a riot. We do know that. As far as what happened in that intervening moment with the video that you just showed, that's going to come to light through the investigation. That's being investigated, and those facts and those questions will be answered soon enough.
well, if that's the case, why did y'all release official statements saying what happened? That's what it's so crazy that he can't answer this question, but she's asking questions about the official statement that they released. So if you don't even have the answer to the question, why would you even release an official statement?
Because he's just trying to sound diplomatic.
He's doing what he's told.
He's doing what he's told. He's trying to sound diplomatic and trying to give her an educated answer, an answer that the American public can buy without actually answering what she's asking him. And so, it's smoke screens is basically what this is.
Okay, but the Homeland Security Secretary is not waiting for that investigation to take place before saying that Alex Pretti was, quote, brandishing a weapon. Let's go to video 7, because, of course, you know this far better than I. The definition of brandishing is waving or flourishing something, especially a weapon, as a threat or an anger and excitement. That's just a still photo of what Alex Pretti appears to be holding. There is nothing that we have seen that showed him, as Secretary Noem said, brandishing a weapon. Have you, sir, seen something different to support what the secretary said?
Dan, I think what we need to take a look at here is the situation in its totality. What happened leading up to this situation? The suspect decided to inject himself into a law enforcement action. What's not being said here is the fact that Border Patrol agents and law enforcement were conducting a targeted law enforcement effort against a violent, illegal alien that was nearby, and that suspect injected himself into that law enforcement.
Well, my thing is, if they were in the middle of trying to do this targeted raid or whatever he's trying to say they were doing, why did they feel a need to push that woman? Like, she's not a part of that. Y'all should be. I don't know. It just doesn't add up to me.
And my thing is, she asked you about the weapon. You talk about everything else but the weapon.
Right. He clearly knows that this man wasn't brandishing anything.
Yeah, so he want to go back and rewrite history and really just kind of tell her the situation, because like you said, you got to go back and look and see what happened before. Well, we're looking to see what happened before, and there's nothing happening other than this man got this microphone in his hand, or What is that in his
Cell
hand?
phone.
A
He
cell phone.
recording.
He got his
Cell
cell
phone
phone in
record.
his he got his cell phone in his hand, and that's all, and that's it. But he don't want to answer that question. He want to try
And
to
even
know.
in this still image, who
Right.
looks like the more aggressive person? Do he look
That
like
part.
he's the aggressive person,
Right.
or is it the ICE agent that looks like they're the aggressor?
And they walked across the street to where he is. He didn't go over there to them. They came to him. And then they pushed her down. They didn't touch him. They pushed him at first. Then they knocked her completely down. And he went over to try to help her up. And they grabbed him and just commenced to whooping his ass.
Well, I wonder, like, if you're doing all of this detaining, right? You're detaining a violent, what do you call him? A violent illegal alien.
Right.
You're detaining him. So how do you have time to push down a woman and then push down this man, beat him up, and kill him if you're doing
Shoot
something
him.
else?
Right. And y'all in the middle of another
And
whole
y'all in
nother
the middle
operation.
of y'all in the middle of a whole operation. So how you have time to do all of this in this one operation?
Did you get the illegal alien?
Wait a minute, but the
That
thing
part.
to
And
get
who is the damn illegal alien? 'Cause
Right.
I think that's what's
Hey.
missing in this story. Where is the illegal alien that y'all were detaining?
Wait a minute, but they don't realize in this video right here, the one that's showing that picture right there, if you look, the man in the car pulls the camera back around and see the ICE agents get out of the vehicle and walk out. Well, no ICE agent over there with nobody holding them or tackling them or anything. They were all getting out of the vehicle to help them to go over there and jump on this guy. So, like you said, where's the illegal alien at? And y'all use that all the time. Well, we were getting ready. They was in the process of doing something. They was in the process of doing something. But every time anybody look at the video, we don't see him doing anything but getting out of their vehicles.
And this facial expression that he has right now reminds me of who he is, a goofy. A doggy?
Law enforcement situation with a weapon. And what happened between when that situation first came about and the shooting, that's going to be investigated, and we're going to get to the facts of that.
Well, you said yesterday that this looks like a situation where the individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. What evidence do you have that he wanted to massacre law enforcement? Because all the videos that we have, and I do want to, we just have a still shot up now, but I do, control room, want to play one of the other videos. Let's play video number 1 again. It doesn't look anything like he's trying to massacre law enforcement. In fact, he was filming, and then it looked like he was trying to help another individual there who was pushed down by law enforcement, and then they went after him.
And stop calling them law enforcement. They ain't no damn law enforcement.
That our law enforcement
Right.
partners have, the fact that they're highly trained, prevented.
And you
any
saw him collapse.
specific,
You see him
shootings of law enforcement.
just laying
So
there.
good job for our law enforcement.
And they
in
backing up
taking
like
him
he
down
is still a
before
threat.
He was able to do that. And again, Dana, let's look at why he was there in the first place. Was he simply walking by and just happened to walk into a law enforcement situation and try to direct traffic and stand in the middle of the road and then assault, delay, and obstruct law enforcement? Or was he there for a reason? Did he fall victim to that violent and heated rhetoric by a Mayor Fry, a Governor Waltz? Look, Dana, they're trying to portray Border Patrol agents and ICE agents as Gestapo, Nazi, and many other words. Did this individual fall victim, as many others have,
Okay,
to that type of heated rhetoric?
I want to stay focused on this incident right now, because what you were saying is that he went there to try to stop this law enforcement operation. All of the video that we have seen shows him documenting it with his cell phone, which is a lawful thing to do. And the only time he seemed to interact with law enforcement is when they went after him when he was trying to help an individual who law enforcement pushed down. So
it's so funny because you have people like this who says, so he was interfering and had a gun on him. What proof, what evidence is there that this man was interfering with anything? It's our American right to record. to go out and protest.
Right, you
And
can go out.
last I checked, some
And
people,
to hold and to carry a concealed weapon.
that's
All
the,
three of those things are lawful things to do.
that's the point I was getting ready to make. It's people could walk in the grocery store with their firearm. I feel leery about it, but hey, Second
It's
Amendment
not
rights.
against the law.
It's not
Right.
against the law to walk around with your firearm. And they made a statement saying if you come to the protest, you can't bring your firearm.
Right.
ICE did.
Mm-hmm. But
So
that's a
now,
lie.
but they just changing the law as they go. This is what gets me. They change the law as they go. There is no set law anymore. They just keep changing the law. Well, you can't do this now. You can't do that now. You can't do this now. You can't do that now. Because we Department of Justice, because we DHS, we can do what we want to do, and you can't do it either.
Yeah, do what we say, not as we do. But I am your tuber. If you have a link to the footage that shows that he inserted himself into the law enforcement operation, please share that link, because all of the raw footage that was taken by the actual people there, it shows a different story. It shows that the law enforcement agent in fact approached them, the woman, and then subsequently him.
Evidence to show that he was trying to impede that law enforcement operation.
Sure, Dan, at first he was there in the scene. He was in the scene actively impeding and assaulting law enforcement to the point.
But that's not illegal.
So just being there he was just there. He was there.
And wait a minute, he said he assaulted the law enforcement. The car was pulling up and showing that he wasn't assaulting them. He's standing with his camera. Then when they knocked the woman down, he turned around to go help her. That's when they jumped on him. So when did in that video, and I want all them out there to say that we be backing up the criminals. Find it, like you said, find the link that showed that he ran up on a police officer or whatever officer they call it themselves, and attacked them. I want you to show me where he actually attacked and branded a gun on them. They should have shot him right there if he branded a gun.
He wasn't.
They beat him up, then shot him. So it's a different
thing to do in the United States of America.
Dan, let's don't freeze frame adjudicate this now. He was there for a reason, and that reason was to impede law enforcement to
what
the point.
What evidence do you have of that?
And here's a good point.
What evidence
Dan,
do you have
is
of
the
that?
fact that de-escalation techniques were utilized during this action. Those de-escalation techniques, whether it was physically trying to remove them.
How is a de-escalation technique? Every de-escalation technique that they use, if that's the case, is escalating situation. So the training is fucked up all the way around. Then is what it is. Because how in the hell, in what reality are they using de-escalation tactics to get these people to de-escalate? Because I know, I mean, you tell me, Foxy, because maybe maybe my reality is a little different.
That is not de-escalation. De-escalation don't mean they have a six of you jump on one person and beat the stuffings out of them.
The living shit out of them.
Kick them. I mean, they were punching him, kicking him, punching him, kicking. You can see them punching him and kick. That is not de-escalation. And he wasn't even at them. He was at the woman, standing there pulling on the woman to try to help her up when they pulled him from her and sprayed him with mace. Okay, anybody that got common sense to get sprayed with mace, you ain't going to think about fighting. You're going to be trying to get that stuff out of your eyes. And they just commenced to whooping his behind.
And I don't want to hear anything about any protester being radical, because that's what America is. Americans don't know how to act. Everybody is, a lot of people loud, proud, especially in this moment of time. It's a lot of people loud and proud right now. And
to me, this statement right here is a radical ass statement. Who the hell?
Right.
Because 2 years ago, people would have never been saying shit like, "Oh, well, it's okay to just kill ICU veteran nurses, if they decide to show up, just being at the fucking protest and helping another person is good enough for
It's
them.
radical. It's
It's
radical.
good enough for them to allow him to get shot and killed and murdered on camera in front of everybody. Not just Americans see this. This is the world looking at us, have our own law enforcement
And at the end of the day,
hunt us down like we're fucking animals.
and at the end of the day, like I said, most Americans are radical. Most of them do speak their minds because we have been raised and taught that we have freedom of speech and we can say what we want to say. They made the law said that if you outside and you're in public, you can film anything because it's all fair game. So what makes ICE feel like that they can't be recorded? If the police force can be recorded and any other situation can be recorded, then they can be recorded also without trying to take somebody out. But once again, this is part of the plan. Anybody that don't go along, then they have to get on.
And you want to know what
Basically.
is even crazier? Real law enforcement, they are forced to wear body cams.
Exactly.
These
Oh, no,
people
no,
are so
no.
corrupt in their processes and the system that they have in place right now that they don't even want other people filming them, let alone them filming themselves. Because who knows what we would see if they actually had video footage and had to record themselves. But from what we are able to just get a glimpse into because other people are recording.
Amateurs.
Just, I mean, it's so crazy that people are saying that this is okay.
And the whole thing about it is they don't want the body cams because they can spin the story any kind of way that they want to. They can also say the footage that you have is edited, you know, that because that's what's going to come next, you know, because they're going to keep doing this. It's not really going to stop until they get what they want or achieve whatever goal that they're trying to achieve. And then so in a minute, all the footage is edited, it's fake, you can't believe it. A personal citizen filmed it, so it's not credible, you know.
Right.
And so that's you know,
That's
they
the
got to
next
take you
part,
in
right.
baby steps. Everything has to be in steps, you know. And then you know they're going to push harder and harder and harder and harder until they and until we just at home and just, you know, living like Russians and North
Right.
Koreans,
Right.
you know,
And just forced to do whatever they tell you.
Venezuelans.
You can't
Yeah,
say nothing.
yeah,
You just
yeah.
have to
You do what
live.
we say. You do what
Right.
we say, and don't say nothing about what we do. How about that?
Right.
Ain't that what
Exactly.
Ain't that what Pam Bundy just said? Do what Trump say. If they do what Trump say and do what we want you to do, then we'll go ahead and take them out of there. So basically, if you do what Trump say, everybody have to do what Trump say, and that includes you
Kiss
all
the
on here.
ring.
That includes all of y'all MAGA. They telling you the same thing. Do as I say. If you don't do what I say, they come after you too.
Oh, well, we gonna get into you know, how this is gonna affect MAGA, but right now we just gotta, you know, get past these little news stories. Then we're gonna get into the real juicy stuff.
Oh, do you know? Also, during this time when the news media came there, they cut everybody's feed because one of the officers made the statement. Why did you see the gun? He said, "What gun?" That's what they
Right.
cut, and they cut everybody, all the news media feed on that statement right there. And we yesterday, me and I said what I said when we did our live. One of the officers said, "Oh, this is like a game from PS5." Call of Duty. This is fun. So this is how these people are looking at what they're doing to us, doing to them as
Right.
fun. The Call of Duty, and anybody
Just
know how
imagine being able to apply for a government funded position that you don't need any qualifications for, that you are fast tracked your training to hurry up and get you out on the street, you're given a $50,000 bonus on top of what is probably already a high salary.
And your background don't even matter.
And the only thing that you have to do is find colored people and round them up, stick them in a van, and bring them to a detention center. And you can be as cruel as you want to be.
Right.
What kind of people do you think they're going to be having? I mean, who else would be able to find a job like that?
So
And
the
if you're
criteria is wanted dead or alive, huh?
right, and then look, and if you have a criminal background, they're still going to hire you. If you have a
that's why I
drug
said your
problem,
back. That's
an incentive. That's a plus.
Yeah, your background don't matter. The worse it is, the better off we want. The more we want you.
Right.
And if you got a drug
Because
problem,
the more,
good.
the least. I mean, we assume that if you're a criminal, you're probably gonna be okay with doing these hateful, mean, inhumane things.
Oh, okay. So a light bulb went off.
Mm-hmm.
So they're hiring criminals because criminals recognize criminals. Is that what it is?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Birds of a feather flocks together. So they understand one another. They know who criminals are because they're criminals.
Right.
And it's going to be easy to detect another criminal. Okay, I got it. Got it.
From that law.
Oh, wow.
Here with me now is U.S. Border Patrol Commander at Large,
I don't
Greg
even know what
Bovino.
part I was on. Ooh.
You know, Dana, every situation is different. What our officers are faced with here in Minneapolis are chaotic, very difficult and violent situations in which individuals, and this suspect is not the only one to bring a loaded weapon to a riot.
This suspect.
The situations are chaotic and ever changing. Follow directions for law enforcement. Don't inject yourself knowingly beforehand into a law enforcement situation.
With respect, it feels as though in some ways you're blaming the victim.
Look, he up here trying to grab the woman.
The victim
they grabbing him
the
and start commence to beating him.
The suspect put himself in that situation. The victims are the Border Patrol agents there.
The victims are the Border Patrol agents.
Because I think this is really, really critical.
Wait a minute, pause there. Okay, that man was in the street, and when they saw him run over he was in the street, then he walked over to where the lady was with his camera, and they ran up and knocked her down, and when he pushed him and knocked her down, he went to help her up. That's when they went to beating his behind. Because they want to do more harm to her.
See an agent, and I just want to go to, let's see here, video 5. You can see a screenshot of an agent in a green jacket approach Pretti
and remove
then
the
he
gun.
Appeared to take a gun away. When the agent took
he was
the gun
disarmed.
away, which seems as though it was Pretti's gun, that happened before Pretti was shot. Why was an unarmed man shot multiple times by law enforcement, by your Border Patrol agents?
Dana, you don't know he was unarmed. I don't know he was unarmed. That's freeze frame adjudication of a crime scene.
No, wait a minute, see it right there? There you go.
That's why we have investigators. That's why we have an investigation that is going to answer those questions. How many shots were fired? Who fired shots? Where was the guns? Where were the guns?
This man has
located?
been overlooked.
All those questions are going
Sir,
to be answered.
I think you can see the screen.
In the investigation. We're not going to adjudicate that here on TV in one freeze frame there.
Okay, it's not a freeze frame. We're showing a video of one of your agents taking the gun away, and that happened before Pretti was shot.
We don't know that agent was taking any gun away. That could have been the agents because we don't know.
I mean, it's clear
They
as
saw it.
fucking day.
You saw him
What are you
underneath
talking
the guy.
about? I mean,
They know. They just listen. We all sit here and watch probably them people that's on TV right now go and attack the Capitol, and the Republicans have changed it around along with Paw. They all changed the narrative in the story that whatever happened on January 6th was a peaceful protesting day.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly. They already changed the narrative.
They changed the narrative already, and you have people walking around
They
believing.
gonna make it. They gonna make it an official holiday
Yeah,
in just a little
in a
while. Just
minute.
wait.
Yeah. And the whole thing about it is you have people denying that they didn't see what their eyes saw. We all saw them attacking the police officers and breaking into the Capitol. Everybody saw that. But
Yep.
let Agent Orange tell a story. It was a peaceful protest.
And those were people filled with love.
Patriots.
For the patriots.
Patriots.
The definition
of a patriot.
And they had cameras with them when they were going into the Capitol, and nobody shot them.
I wonder
about the hypocrisy.
I wonder how many January 6ers is in this militia here, because this is basically what this is at this point.
A terrorist militia.
A terrorist militia is basically what this is.
Are going to come to light.
So you're disputing the video that that's what happened.
With an investigation.
You're disputing the video.
Well, with respect, you say
he pulling it out.
You're also
he pulling it out. He just took it off.
Sort of flying in the face of waiting for an investigation.
Exactly.
Gotta go back a little bit because they not gonna make me believe that I'm crazy. Cause
I just want to also go back to.
Let's see.
So you're disputing the video that that's what happened.
With an investigation. That's why we investigate.
So y'all see this man's arm clearly on his holster, to get this man's gun out.
Well, with respect, you say that's why we investigate, but you're also drawing.
Stay right there.
And
took it.
Dang.
Here with me now is U.S. Border Patrol Commander at Large.
They took it right there, snatched it right off him.
Snatched it right off him to the point where you saw that it wasn't even there anymore.
By your Border Patrol agents.
They right.
Dana, you
right
don't
there.
know he was unarmed. I don't know he was unarmed. That's freeze.
Right there, go right there.
Hey, I keep doing
Here
it.
with me now is U.S. Border Patrol Commander at Large. Okay, it's not a freeze frame. We're showing.
Let me just
a video
play
of one of your agents taking the gun away, and that happened before Pretti was shot.
It's off.
We don't know that.
And now he goes
any
to
gun
shoot
away
him.
that could have been the agents because we don't know that. The facts are going to come to light.
So you're disputing the video that that's what happened.
With an investigation. That's why we investigate.
Well, with respect, you say that's why we investigate, but you're also drawing other conclusions that sort of fly in the face.
Tell him, Dana, get him.
Investigation.
Hello.
I just want to also go back to what I was asking about with regard to what Secretary Noem said, that he was brandishing a gun. At any point, do you have any evidence that, yes, he had a gun on his person? Was he brandishing it? Was he a threat because he had a gun in his hand that put law enforcement in danger?
Dana, we heard the law enforcement officer say gun, gun, gun. So at some point, they knew there was a gun. So again, that is going to be part of that investigation as to what was happening on the ground there between those victims, the Border Patrol agent victims, and the suspect.
Both the police chief in Minneapolis, O'Hara, and Governor Walz say Pretti was legally licensed to carry a concealed weapon. So are you saying it's not okay for him to exercise his Second Amendment right, not to mention his First Amendment right to be there in the first place, but his Second Amendment right to carry a gun? And if you do, you can be shot by federal law enforcement?
No, I didn't say that, Dana. I never said that. What I'm saying is we respect that Second Amendment right, but those rights don't count when you riot and assault, delay, obstruct, and impede law enforcement officers, and most especially when you mean to do that beforehand.
How do you know that?
Mean to do that when you mean to do that beforehand. When you show up to an active crime scene, don't leave the crime scene, and you're armed, then you've got the decision-making process for that individual doesn't seem to be very good. Now, back to the Second Amendment. What you're saying about the Second Amendment is peacefully protesting with firearms. Absolutely, I've done that myself, and fully support that. But not when you perpetrate violence, obstruct, delay, or obfuscate. Border Patrol in the performance of their duties in an
There's
active
no
crime
evidence that
scene.
he was perpetrating violence. And there's no evidence, unless you have it, and we'd love to see it if there is, that he was intending to massacre law enforcement, other than the fact that he was there and he had a gun lawfully.
He meant to be there beforehand. Again, Dana, he meant
to be.
How do you
for
know that?
a reason.
How do you know that?
Because he was there.
But all he
Because
was doing
there.
was filming
It's
and
very
documenting it, which is legal. He was carrying a gun, which in Minneapolis
I didn't
is
say
legal.
it wasn't. And I didn't say it wasn't legal.
So then what did he do that was illegal?
Assault federal law enforcement when he does that. That's an active law enforcement crime
Where do you
scene
see in the video that he was
decided to
assault-
enter into.
Where do you see in the video that he was assaulting law enforcement? Because from everything we have seen, law enforcement was assaulting him when he was there trying to help another individual.
Dana, law enforcement
Is she
doesn't
not
assault
eating him
anyone.
up or what?
Follow directions.
Maybe
of
she
law
read them his rights.
Follow directions of law enforcement in.
She mad like the rest of the people.
It's very evident he didn't
Trying to
want
keep her
do
poker
that.
face on,
Very
but you know she
evident
mad.
that the other individuals didn't want to do that, and it's too bad the
Look at her eyes.
consequences we paid because he injected himself into that crime scene. I can't say that enough. He made the decision to go there. We didn't make the decision to talk to him. We didn't even know that individual was in the.
Okay, my thing is he's standing in the street. What crime scene was he involved in?
That's exactly what y'all did. That's exactly what they did when they approached him.
They approached him. He didn't approach them. They just lying. He didn't. Like I said, that's part of the plan. We're gonna go do what we want to do. We're gonna spin the narrative the way that we want to spin it, and you don't believe your lying eyes. Believe what we tell you. It's basically what's really going on here, and it's like a blatant F you. Just F the public, and we're gonna do what the hell we want to do, and there's nothing that y'all can do about it. That's the attitude that they have, in my opinion.
It just seems like, we're going to do what we want to do. You all have to deal with it one way or the other. Just step back, be quiet, and just watch.
We could do this the easy way or the hard way.
Right.
I want to go back to
until he came into that crime
I want to
scene.
go back to video number 1, because you keep seeing that he injected himself into the crime scene. He was a guy on a street filming an operation. He was far away. He wasn't on the crime scene. And what I want you to see again is that law enforcement appears by the video we have to be approaching him and the person who is next to him, not the other way around. And so what I want to know is, what evidence do you have that he went after law enforcement?
Sure. The fact that he was standing in the middle of the road, there was interaction between him, the bystanders,
Who is he?
law enforcement.
But who is he impeding traffic for?
They're his shadow. They're his shadow. Ain't nobody by him.
Middle of
or
a crime
nothing.
scene. Dan, I don't think you would want to be in the middle of a crime scene, or you would want civilians in the middle of a crime scene.
And he moved out the way for that car.
Into something that is none of their business at all.
Can
Wait a
you
minute,
also-
my thing is,
I didn't see that. I didn't see that they sprayed her.
Because again,
They sprayed
yeah, they
both
sprayed
of
her
them.
and him.
branded-
Yeah, I just saw that spray.
Did he ever have his hand on the weapon?
Yeah, again, the officers on the ground, in that melee, we hear gun, gun, gun. So that gun at some point became visible to officers.
But could it have been because they had him on the ground and maybe his shirt came up and they saw that it was on him? That
Pure
doesn't mean that he was.
speculation, and that is why we have an investigation. Dana.
Fine,
That is what
Because
we
y'all don't have a
investigate.
story
I-
for
I'm
that
not gonna
part
know that
yet.
now,
Y'all got to
and I'm
figure
not
out a
gonna know
story
I
that
for
think
now.
that.
investigation is great, but the Homeland Security Secretary said he was brandishing a weapon. Do you have evidence that we haven't seen that he
Exactly.
was brandishing a weapon?
All right, stick to
If
her
you don't
story.
know,
He brought
Because you can't defend her. He can't
to a
defend her
riot,
story.
assaulted federal officers, and at some point they saw that weapon. So I do believe the secretary is 100% spot on in what she said.
Seeing
Why
a
would
weapon.
you bring a weapon and assault a federal officer if you did not have intent
Okay.
to harm or delay or obstruct that federal officer with a weapon?
You keep saying that he assaulted a federal officer, but again, we have not seen evidence that that happened. It looked like he was on the defense, and again, he had a gun legally. It's sort of
And look, they
feels like
walk
we're
off
in the
like,
upside down, where we have law
Yeah,
enforcement
like they
searching
don't believe
for,
it that they just
very
shot him.
Second Amendment saying the problem was that he had a gun legally.
No, the problem is, as I said several times now, is he injected himself. He put himself where he did not need to be. He put himself in and put law enforcement officers in jeopardy through his actions.
Dana working him.
His
She pissing him
actions,
off.
not law enforcement officers' action. We had to react to an individual that came there for a specific reason. And again, what that reason is, we're going to find more out about
There you go,
that
right there.
in the coming
He's
days.
filming it.
Interested to see what his
And
reason.
when did he attack?
While Border Patrol agents were arresting a violent, criminal, illegal alien doing their lawful, ethical, and moral duties in Minneapolis. That's the question.
But where's the alien
But
at?
the question
Shit.
is also, why is an American citizen now dead for the second time who was
that's what the question
there
is.
to document in this case, and clearly to be there as a bystander, which is
It's
his
not
First
clear.
Amendment right.
He wasn't there to clearly document anything. Don't socially engineer the topic, Dana. He was not there
Socially
to document.
engineer.
For a
That's fair.
reason,
Appeared
and
to
he
me.
obfuscated and delayed officers there
I wanna
on the
ask-
scene.
I wanna
That's
ask-
pretty evident to me.
I want to ask you about your agents. You said that this was a highly trained agent who had been serving on Border Patrol for 8 years. What was he trained for? Because these are your Border Patrol agents, and they're now in the interior of the country, in American cities. Was he trained in urban policing?
Yes, all of our Border Patrol agents are trained in all for all types of environments, including urban policing. This particular Border Patrol agent had 8 years with some specific skill sets there with both firearms and less lethal munitions. Also, let's take a look at the training and the environments that Border Patrol agents operate in. We operate in places like San Diego, California, Tucson, Arizona, New Orleans. All those have Border Patrol sectors. Detroit, Michigan. We've got Border Patrol sectors in Buffalo. So this myth, and I saw this just last night on CNN, this myth that Border Patrol agents don't work in urban areas is just that. It's a myth. We're well adept at urban areas, conducting that Title VIII immigration enforcement wherever we go. It doesn't matter if it's a desert or an urban environment. We're very well adept at doing that.
So wait a minute, hold on. Pause this. So you telling me just because you're in an urban area, you have the right as a Border Patrol to go up and attack a civilian filming, not branding a weapon which you couldn't find, you couldn't prove, not attacking the officer that you couldn't prove, number two, but they could just run up on them and knock people down and beat on people because you're Border Patrol. Okay, you can continue on. I just want to get clarification on that.
All right. I think we pretty much can see that
The
this.
one agent fired a weapon at Alex Pretti.
Again, that's going to be part of the investigation. I'm not going to speculate on how many shots or who shot or that type of thing because I don't know.
Are the agents who were involved still on the job?
Yes, they're these Border Patrol agents are going to more than likely be on administrative duty, but they
What does
were
that mean?
Border Patrol agents. Yes.
They will more than likely, but they haven't been yet. They still on the streets. What the?
Hey, look at the chat. Look at the chat. Look at the chat.
What does the chat say?
The private chat.
What?
Yeah, so let's go ahead and go to the next story.
That means so they'll be off.
All right, and let's see here. All right, so the next thing we're gonna talk about is a Minnesota resident, and he's gonna basically speak on how he feels about what's going on in the streets of Minnesota, and he says that he wants to speak as an American. So I want you guys to look at it from an American speaking about what's happening in the streets of Minnesota.
have lived here for some time, just up the road for a period of time. How would you describe just the way as a Minneapolis resident that you're feeling right now?
Can I describe it not as a Minneapolis resident, but as an American citizen? Thank you. This started as a pretext about immigration and the fraud, whatever. It's well beyond that now. It's into your Second Amendment. It's into your Fourth Amendment. It's into your Sixth Amendment. This is so far beyond what people at home probably are watching going, it's Minneapolis, it's woke Hoth, it doesn't affect me, whatever. It does. It's you. It's you as well now. Wake up. Please watch what's happening here. I feel like we're performing CPR on what may already be a corpse called the Constitution. And there's plenty of people online laughing at us and going, tryhards. But I think it's worth it, and I hope you do too.
Well, you were saying to me earlier that you were HOA president for a while.
Yeah, I'm the Square community, man. I built real estate document search portal sites for Wells Fargo. I am the Square community.
But you were HOA president, Frank and Nick. So this community to happen here, for this to happen here at this intersection on Nicollet in East Street, how do you begin to explain the significance of it happening here today?
I assume it's Kristi Noem's provocation. She saw how much this city hates her clowns, hates her scarecrows, and said, we'll double down. We'll put the boot a little bit harder on the throat.
How long will you stay out here?
Till my balls get cold. Just till it gets too cold. Probably all day, I think, yeah.
All right. Well, guys, it appears as though MAGA is up in full effect. They have tried to suspend our channels. So I don't know what is going on, but our horizontal streams have been taken down due to policy violations.
Due to the truth.
Mind you, we aren't disseminating any information that isn't already online. So it's kind of weird that people are saying, that they are striking us for policy violations. We are going to have to look into that.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, all of ours. All three.
Yeah.
So
Vertical is still going. So, if we want to continue with the show, what do you want to do?
The show, we're gonna keep on going. And so, MAGA, y'all talk about Democrats being in their feelings and always and being crybabies, and y'all are so mad when the truth comes out. One thing that y'all won't be able to do is stop the people from being able to see what's really going on in America and making up their own decisions as to how they want to move forward.
Well, I told y'all that there was a lot, the news media, different, I think it was like 7 news media that from different locations, they cut their feed, their live feed too.
Well, hey, this is the America that we're living in.
Yeah.
So now there's all this outrage. In fact, somebody even put it in our comments earlier talking about selective outrage on the Democrat side. Well, let's talk about JD Vance, because everybody has all this selective outrage and feels like just being a human being, exercising your human rights is now good enough for you to get executed in the middle of the street in broad daylight
in front of everybody,
in front of everyone, and guess what? And nothing will happen to the person who did it. So now that we're here at this place, because this man was exercising his First and Second Amendment right, he did not have a huge gun. But let's look at JD Vance, talk about this guy. I don't know if y'all know who this is, Kyle Rittenhouse. If you don't, just watch this video.
I remember him.
If you think about what Kyle Rittenhouse really was doing, is he saw a bunch of thugs and rioters destroying his community, and no one was doing anything about it. What are the values that represent my community, if not honor and loyalty and devotion to your community? This 17-year-old boy saw no one protecting the businesses.
17-year-old boy.
So he went down there and did it. And instead of rewarding it, instead of saying, Isn't it good
instead
that
of
a
rewarding
17-year-old
him.
kid who was raised by a single mother
He should have been
made good
rewarded.
decisions and decided to be a positive force in his community? They
And that's
slandered
how
and
he
lied
was
about
out
him.
there.
They treated basic manly virtue as white supremacy. And I think you're exactly right. It's not just about Kyle Rittenhouse. It's about what kind of young men do we want to raise in our communities? What kind of virtues do we want our leaders to promote? Certainly not
Look how that man looking.
burning Kenosha, Wisconsin
Right.
down. We want to promote the types of virtues that
Like
exist in
this.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
So that's him basically saying that for MAGA, if you're MAGA, you do it, it's okay.
Yeah, you can do what you want to.
Yeah, but if you're on the left, if you're a Democrat and you decide to exercise your in the middle of a street like a dog. So that brings us to the autopsy of Renee Good, the other person who was shot in her head by ICE agent. And we're going to talk about what the autopsy is revealing. And this is going to come from the Young Turks. So you guys, of course, if y'all haven't done so, y'all subscribe to their channel as well. A lot of their stuff sometimes is good. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't know about that, but you know, that's the good thing about being in America. Everybody can have the difference of opinion and still live in the same place.
Well, we back.
We back.
We back, baby.
Okay.
No.
Okay, look, y'all be so y'all be
The
so
results
mad.
of a private
Hold on, let me
autopsy done
pause
on
this real quick. So yeah, I think that sums it up. FAFO. We gonna get the word out regardless. Y'all gonna be mad, but we gonna get the facts out to the people.
Renée Good sheds more light on the fatal shooting carried out by an ICE agent in which, well, a single bullet likely ended up killing her. Now, when the story first broke, all of the reports indicated that she was shot in the face 3 times, but this autopsy makes clear that that wasn't the case. Now, the autopsy shows that Good was shot at least 3 times, sustaining wounds to her head, arm, and breast. 2 of the gunshot wounds were not immediately life-threatening, the autopsy found. 1 bullet struck Miss Good on her left forearm. Another bullet entered her body in the right breast, but did not penetrate major organs. Now, more damningly, a 3rd bullet struck her on the left side of her head near the temple, the autopsy said, and exited on the right side of her head. That's the one that killed her. That was the shot from the side of the SUV.
Wow.
So y'all, you get what that mean, right?
That was
He
a
shot
Holocaust
her
bullet.
when she was no longer a threat to him.
Threat to him. Like they just shot this man when he was no longer a threat.
He
While he
never
was
a
on the
threat.
ground.
Well, I mean,
Wait a
neither
minute.
one of them should have ever been considered a threat because he
Right.
literally, I mean, he could have just stepped back and avoided getting hit instead of making her a threat. He could have just, reacted like a trained law enforcement agent you would think would respond versus, saying, okay,
Right.
no, this is the
Well,
perfect opportunity for me to go ahead and finally get me a body under my belt, or maybe for me to get another body. I don't know how many he has.
why come I seen a YouTube channel talking about ICE got another body under their belt?
At
That's
this
not
point,
funny.
I wonder
It's not
if they got a
funny.
scorecard in their like meeting room where
Right.
they like,
Maybe they got a whole other body. But what I want to know though, are we really gonna get the story of why did they push this lady down? I want to know that. Why was she pushed down? Because I think
Right.
everybody's missing that portion of the story. The lady ain't even a factor no more. So
Right.
I want to know why she got pushed down and why she get what sprayed in her face? Mace? Why she
Yeah,
get
mace.
maced?
Well, what it was, he had backed up when they was telling them, when they were coming towards, he backed up towards her, like back near her. And when they did that one went over and ran, knocked her down, I guess to keep her from helping him. And that's when they attacked him.
but I mean that wasn't lawful.
Both
What
of
was
them,
the point?
but both of them were filming. That's the thing. Both of them was
Both
filming.
Right.
of them
That
were
was the
filming, and
threat.
she
That was
failed
the
to.
threat.
Okay.
She was
The
filming too.
camera is the threat.
Yeah, now cameras are a threat, so you can't even have your camera out. You're a threat.
So, Cenk, your 2 cents before I give you more details.
Yeah. So, what do we say on the first day? So even when we didn't know all the facts, and there's a little bit of fog of that particular situation, right? We said the first shot, we're gonna have to see what happened there. You know, it looked like she was turning away. Certainly, she was going 2 miles per hour. Seemed like the first shot was unjustified, but the next 2 shots were totally unnecessary, and no one could dispute it. He shot from the side, and lo and behold, from the side, goes into the left, comes out of the right, because he shot her once she was past them, and now he's just murdering her.
Yeah.
So that third shot was the shot that murdered her, and it was 100% when he was no longer in danger. That brother should be put up on charges, and he should serve a long time in prison for murdering Renée Good.
But he won't, because there has been an effort to provide cover for him, and there has been intentional misreporting and misstatements coming from the government. And I'm gonna provide evidence for that in just a minute, because we now know definitively that the ICE agent who shot and killed her was not hit by the car. Okay, so hold up so I can show you the evidence on that in just a minute. But I should also note that this private autopsy that was carried out at the request of Good's family also found.
So they said they could definitively prove that he was not hit by the car. So I can't wait till we get to that part.
Right.
MAGA gonna have a.
Well, I'll be glad. I hope the AGs just do their jobs. You know.
Right, with this information.
But the problem is with her, they was trying to hide any evidence for her for this investigation. They had to get federal judges in to overrule that, so they can for the FBI to do and they're doing the same with this guy. They're doing the same thing. The FBI, they got to go to a federal judge to go in and do it, because they saying,
and they still
ICE saying they're doing their own private, and they ICE saying they're doing their own investigation. How you going to investigate yourselves?
Exactly.
That she suffered a graze wound consistent with a firearm injury, but with no penetration. So there was a 4th shot, but it grazed her. It didn't actually kind of like how the bullet grazed Trump's ear, similar to that. Okay. Now I should also note this, because this is really, really important. So this is a partial release of a private autopsy. So the lawyers firm representing Good's family declined to release the full autopsy, and results of an official autopsy that was conducted by the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office has yet to be released. So there could be some additional information that we learn in the coming days or weeks, but I wanted to make sure you all knew that this was the release of part of the private autopsy. Okay. Now, we also learned last week that Renée Good still had a pulse for several minutes following the shooting. So records from emergency responders show that Good was not breathing, but had an irregular pulse when local medics arrived at the scene, and had no pulse by the time they removed her from the car. Now, Minnesota State Senator Matt Klein, who also happens to be a doctor, held a press conference last week where he said that she had a pulse for 8 minutes after getting shot. Now, why is that relevant? Well, it's relevant because, as we all know, and there's surveillance footage to prove this, there was a medical professional on the scene who offered to provide, help to Good following the shooting, but he was blocked from being able to do so. Many argue that ICE can't just allow random private citizens to, provide medical assistance right then and there on the scene. It could be a liability, but that might come up because it does seem clear to me that Good's family appears to be investigating this for a potential civil lawsuit.
Yeah.
Well, why the police allow people to help them?
So look, the point.
You say what?
The police allow people to help them do render aid. I see it all the time on these. I seen the police chase just the other day. the suspect was getting away. He was outrunning the police. This man told the police to get in. He was driving down the road and took him to the suspect. Police got out and caught the guy.
See, they make up stuff
So
as
they
they
making
go.
it up as they go. Yeah, they're making this shit up. And also, like, you know, when you're calling 911 and you have an emergency, they tell you to start administering CPR, whether you qualified or not. Even if you're not qualified, they tell you how to get it done.
Right.
They qualify you over the phone. So that's a bunch of mumbo jumbo and BS.
And see, the thing is, if you notice it, okay, with her, they did what they did, walked away, got in their vehicles and left. They turned around, shot this man, left him on the ground, and walked away like, okay, we did our job, and walked away again. You do not leave the scene of a crime. This is what I want to get these idiots that keep saying, oh, well. No, you don't leave the scene of a crime unless you have your chief or whoever over you to be there to see what's going on and to talk to everybody and get, but you all did what you did and walked away. That's the most important step right there that everybody keeps forgetting. They cannot.
And that's why they're going to be charged with state crimes. And they're helping. And what this autopsy will do, hopefully and allegedly, is help the state AG, Attorney General, bring a case against these people inside their state and help and hold them accountable. Because allegedly, because I fully believe Tish James would do the same thing if they were trying that mess in New York. They hurry up and got out of New York. Okay.
Okay, so they wasn't playing. But see, we're gonna talk about this government in Minneapolis in a second too, because you know I don't know. I'm starting to have mixed feelings.
Advice is to go in and agitate locally until something terrible happens, and then why of the military in the streets. In fact, he's trying to put the military in the streets now 2-3 different times.
No, he's a fascist. Okay, the ICE agents are the brown shirts. So at this point, he's a fascist. What's being carried out is indicative of a fascist regime. All right, we got into that debate. I said he's authoritarian, but I wouldn't call him a fascist because he's not a guy who's driven by ideology. He's not driven by the ideology of fascism. No, this is fascism. Anyway, continue.
So it doesn't really matter if you call it authoritarian or fascist, in my opinion, right? So the bottom line is he wants to be in charge of a country that is living under military rule. And he is the unquestioned leader of that country. And he has said 1,000 times about how, I went to China and North Korea and all these places. Oh my God, these dictators are amazing. No one's allowed to disagree with them. Whenever they walk into a room, they get standing ovation. He wants that kind of adulation because he's a man-child. He's a pathetic man-child. So he loves the idea of agitating everyone and what does it do? It divides the country. So now some people are dug in going, no, ICE is great and we got to kill the immigrants and whatever it's all right. If they were just like 1% risk, 0.00001% risk, what a real man does is shoot a woman in the head 3 times. No, that's not what a real man does. That's what a super weak man does. Super weak, okay? Oh, it's a woman in a car going 2 miles per hour. Boom, 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 assassinate her, right? No, that's not what that strong man does. That's what a pathetic man does. So now we're back to fighting.
Amen.
Fighting. Oh, perfect. Trump loves it. The oligarchs love it.
Right.
The donors love it. Good. We got the left and the right to constantly fight each other and kill each other.
Right.
Meanwhile, they're not noticing the frickin' robbery. Non-stop robbery. Israel robs us, pharma robs us, oil robs us, defense contractors rob us, but we're at each other's throats in the streets. And Trump and his donors are laughing their ass off at Mar-a-Lago wearing weirdo dog masks and having sick parties. Like, we got the poors to fight each other and kill each other.
Exactly.
Now let's rob them. And that's what Trump and his stupid donors are doing. Yep. The donors have been robbing us through Democratic and Republican administrations.
God damn, he just hit that nail right on the goddamn head, because that's exactly how I feel. that they do, that how they look at
Yep,
us.
that's that, and exactly. And they're looking at us like we the dummies, we the dum-dums, and they sit back and look at them. That's on them. They want to get out there and protest. And
No, they ain't saying that's on them. They are enjoying this. They love to see the violence. They want more heads. They probably be betting on it.
Well, you see, you
These
saw in
people
our
are
chat
sick.
that you saw in the chat that they said those people deserve what they got.
Well, I'm not. These are. I mean, those are the people that they laughing at. What I'm talking about are the rich elite people who are looking at us as Democrats, quote unquote Democrats, and quote unquote Republicans, going at each other's throats and pretending like we are all really that much different from each other, but we are willing to stand on whatever side of the aisle that we are on. And it's not really the left side, it's really the right side, to be very honest. It's the right side that is perpetuating this, but they are willing to go to any depths to say, we've owned the libs. We'll take their lives, we'll take away our own constitutional rights just to give ourselves, just to make ourselves feel like, we're owning the libs. We're willing to let our country go into probably, I mean, it's shattering right before our eyes. Everything about our country and what makes it great is, they're completely destroying it. And there are people in this country that are okay with that just for the sake of saying they own the libs, or, I'm better than you. I'm better. I'm a MAGA. You're not. So you're scum of the earth. Like, we don't.
So I'm better than you.
Right. Like, we don't all have to go to work every day and pay these damn bills. You know what I'm saying? They have responsibilities, and we ain't all still slaves to the fucking government, regardless of whatever side you think you on.
That part.
For my entire life, while they got us to fight. But congrats, Trump. You got us to fight, because no, I'm not going to accept a woman being shot in the head and executed by your thugs, by your masked thugs in the streets with no badges. That is un-American. You are the exact opposite of a patriot. You believe in a thuggish third world dictatorship.
Yep.
And I love America, where we have cops who have badges, we can see them, and they are accountable to the community.
Hello.
But you don't want that. You don't want America.
So let's talk a little bit about the definitive proof that the ICE agent, Jonathan Ross, who shot and killed Renée Good, did not actually get hit by the car at all. So let's show you the evidence. The New York Times pored over all the videos that are available, looked at everything, and put together an analysis. The analysis is available on YouTube if you want to check it out, but I'm going to show you the two parts that are most relevant. Starting with the first part, let's take a look.
Here, the agent's cell phone footage shows he's moving directly in front of the SUV as it's reversing and rotating towards him, initiating a three-point turn, apparently to leave. Law enforcement officers are trained to avoid doing this because it puts them in danger and often leads to the use of force against drivers. The cell phone is focused squarely on Miss Good. She looks down, shifts into drive, and begins turning to the right, away from the agent. Cut to this high angle and zoom in. We can make out the agent's body and his arm filming. We can also see at the same time, he's beginning to lift his other arm. On these cameras, we can see what's happening around Agent Ross. The other agent is yelling orders and reaching into Miss Good's SUV. Her front tire spins as she continues turning right. Agent Ross is at least a few feet away from Miss Good's SUV. He does not appear to move out of the way.
Okay, so you see how far he is from her vehicle. As, by the way, she's pulling back and turning to obviously flee. It's clear. Now, the next video is gonna show you whether or not Ross got hit with her SUV. Let's watch.
This is also the moment many have said looks like Agent Ross getting run over. And it does when watched at full speed. But looking more closely, we can see in multiple angles that there's a visible gap between the vehicle and his legs, indicating his feet are positioned outside the SUV's path. The agent's left hand is still against the vehicle and gripping his phone. We see as he fires, it's recording the clouds and the trees overhead. It's not because the agent is knocked to the ground. The other angle shows he's still standing, continuing to maintain his grip on his phone and his gun, and we see a clear and growing gap between his body and the SUV as he fires a second shot and a third.
So he was never hit by the SUV, and the shot that actually ended up killing her was one of the last shots to her head as he was already to the side of her vehicle.
You know what depresses me, Anna, is that part of
She's a white liberal, though. She's a white liberal woman, so it's okay, right? It's okay. She's a white liberal woman, so it's okay. That's one of the arguments that I've seen all over the internet.
And a lesbian.
You people are disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay, un-American, disgusting. Go ahead.
What depresses me is that partisanship brain gets people to look at that and go, she had it coming. How could you possibly conclude that from that? So guys, two things I focus on in this new video. One, until today, I had not seen how far in front of the car he was, the coward of the country, Jonathan Ross, okay? He's so far from the car. It's the easiest thing in the world to take one step to the side. Now, eventually he does take a step to the side, right?
And proceeds to continue shooting her.
But he's still holding the phone. Like the claim is, oh, I'm in so much mortal danger, but I'm still holding my phone. I got my gun out. I'm doing all this. And by the way, now she's made the full turn. And as we told you on day one, 2 shots from the side, totally gratuitous, no reason for it in the third shot, murders her. No, guys, but somehow partisanship is so strong that seemingly rational human beings look at that video and go, oh, what a hero Jonathan Ross was. My God, he was almost dead. He didn't even drop the phone. He's so far from the car. And you could see that you could step aside. By the way, there is legally, if you can get out of the way of a car, that your self-defense claim is much, 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 much weaker. You have almost no chance of that working if you could get out of the way of the car. And he obviously could get out of the way of the car because, by the way, he did. He did get out of the way of the car. He could have gotten out of the way earlier, and then he murdered her after he got out of the way of the car.
Yeah.
So there's no question about it, but partisanship melts our brains. So that tons of right wingers are looking at that and going, oh, whew, man, he was this close to death. Thank God he protected himself.
No, they convinced themselves that it was justified. That's what happens. And I get being so ideologically driven that you let that ideology turn you into a total dumbass. I get it. It's happened to me before. That's why I waited until we saw definitive proof of whether or not he got hit by the car. Everything else that I had seen did not convince me one way or the other. This analysis, this video is definitive proof.
All right, well, that was the young Turk.
Good child, because I'm tired of Anna.
Okay, but yeah, so I guess the autopsy, I mean, we kind of suspected what they said about the officer getting hit and, whether or not that was a reasonable force for the situation, because he obviously could have, just backed up and got out the way. But, to, like they said, the partisan MAGA person, she was about to kill him. So, but yeah, with the autopsy, I think that definitely sheds some light, where it makes it a lot harder to defend his actions. But we'll see. Now, I thought this was, it was sad to see this old man feel like, you know what, at his old age, he can't just enjoy his life anymore. He has to get his ass up in the freezing cold weather to try to do something, whatever he feel like he can do to fight for our democracy and our constitutional rights.
That's sad. That is so sad.
Yeah. So we're gonna watch the clip. Some people may, I know the MAGA people may like this clip because, but
Fuck you! Stop! Look out! Damn! Chill. Okay. I'm fine. I don't even breathe anything. I'm just angry. I'm 7 years old. Fucking angry.
Terrorizing us! What more can we take? Fuck you!
yeah. So the people are. I mean, I'm pretty sure these people wish they could do other stuff with their lives and their time. And you got people that just are so fed up that they don't know what to do, and all they can think to do is just go out.
I'm sorry, it's not funny, but
okay. But it's sad. But
I'm trying to compose myself because she is so dang mad. She said, "What can we do?
They don't know what to do.
What do you want from us?" That lady said so tired and exasperated, and it's not funny. But just the way that she said it, you kind of, I was like, dang, she really frustrated and exasperated. And they're tired of ICE. Like how much more can they take? And that's and that's the whole key. I'm afraid of this melting boiling pot that we have. This boiling pot that's brewing around every day. It's just it's boiling. It's getting hotter and hotter every day. The whole house is on fire, i.e. America. The whole house on fire. And nobody seemed to have any solutions on how to put the fire out.
It's only gasoline being thrown on it now, I feel like.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Thank you, Shelly C. Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate
Thank you, Shelly C.
Thank you for modding for me.
And she have a channel?
Nah.
Okay.
Did you read the chat? The back chat?
Okay, I will.
I'm gonna need y'all to pay attention.
But look, okay, so we're gonna talk about this black man at the anti-ICE protest. And the reason why I think it's important is because I think there's a number of black people that are coming out saying that, this isn't our fight, stay in the house. And while I agree with not necessarily having to get out in the streets, I do think that at some point we will have to organize. We have to get involved. I mean, it's something that we probably should already be doing. But with the rhetoric that I've been hearing, there's a lot of black conservatives still who are still on the general who just, don't want to get involved, and they feel like this isn't our fight.
Well, I feel like we're doing our part by shedding the light with the American public.
That's what our part is, right? I think that letting everybody see what's happening and giving information out. Yeah, I think that's definitely a huge factor that will play a part. But
because I'm even learning from these clips. I've seen this clip. You see that I sat here and watched this clip over and over again. Then they finally click. Oh, they got sprayed with pepper spray also. With maize or what? Not pepper spray, but maize or whatever they're using. I don't know. And so it's just kind of good, not only just look at it, but study it and pay attention to it and slow it down and, really analyze and pay attention to what you're looking at. And your eyes are really not deceiving you. This really is our new America.
And is this, even if you're a conservative, even if you're a MAGA person, is this really the America that you want to live in? Because there's nowhere that you're going to be able to go and in this reality where you're going to be able to live in a full society of people who share your ideological y'all know the word I'm trying to
ideology.
say. right, your beliefs, and it's just not going to happen. And you have to learn how to coexist with people who may not agree with you, and that's okay. But I mean, is this the result? Is this what we want to do with America? But
Well,
black people think
for
that
250
ICE is
years.
not coming for them. I guess I
All
think
right.
black people have the misconception that if they just allow them to get rid of all the brown people, that they gonna leave the black people alone. But
No, baby. They
I think
already
Chris,
they rain war on Somali and the Haitians. So that's your cue right there.
exactly,
You could be mistaken for whatever at this point.
exactly.
If they're gonna spin the narrative on these videos on what's really going on, and you're sitting here watching with your own eyes, and they're sitting here telling you the lies and the denial, what make you think we're not next?
Hmm.
I'm just saying.
This is just the beginning.
This only the beginning, and unfortunately, some more people are gonna have to lose their lives over this BS. And really, everyone should be contacting their senators and letting them know not to vote on this budget bill
For
that's
ICE,
due
right?
next week. Yeah, because it's gonna fund ICE. So just like you wanted to defund the police, defund ICE.
Mm-hmm.
In my humble opinion.
Let's look at what this black man had to say.
The black, the brown, the Hispanic, the Hmong, the Somali community, we will not take this. The white community, we are not taking this. This is all of our problem. We are in this fight together. See, what people don't know, this is just like how it was in Ferguson, man, for Mike Brown. This is why the people are saying hands up, don't shoot, man. We're tired of this, man. We are tired of this. This is the third shooting in Minneapolis.
Holy shit. What the fuck? They killed him? Did they fucking kill that guy?
And when I keep on trying to tell people, this is all of our problem. There was over 50,000 people that came and protested with us, stood in solidarity with the community. And this is what community looks like. Minneapolis Police, Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, they're not doing crowd control. They're not even trying to help out the community. ICE agents are literally taking over our police department here in Minnesota. This is what we do not want. There's more federal ICE agents in Minnesota than there is in Minneapolis as far as the police department, as far as the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, as far as St. Paul Police Department. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. We need everybody to continue to come out here, observe, or whistleblow, or just stand with the community. We're tired of this shit. They are trying to kill us. What part don't people understand? Another legal observer dead. We can't keep having this, man. My name Cortez Rice. All power to the people. Let's go. What happened to the fucking National Guard? Nowhere to be found. Fucking Governor Tim Walz and Jacob Fry is making press conferences right now while the people in the community are being terrorized by federal ICE agents. They're not standing out here with us. They can't literally say, oh, well, we know what's going on, the peaceful protesters. Motherfucker, you make your press conferences and you go back in your fucking house while we out here freezing in the fucking cold, standing for the community. This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. Tyranny. This is fascism. This is bullshit right here.
And that's who's gonna have to get the message out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look that way.
Because I mean, there's I think a power behind black voices that some white people can master, but I think they all their life they had to fight, so All right, now let's talk about this black woman who says that whites are now experiencing what it feels like to be black.
What we're seeing out of Minneapolis is horrific, but I can't imagine what white people are feeling now, because this is old for black people. This is what I want the world to understand. This is what we've been living through forever, where they shoot one of us. The news reports what the oppressor wants us to see, the people in charge wants us to see. They immediately start calling the person who was shot a criminal. You see video footage and you have to keep watching the video over and over again because the video seems to tell, though absolutely does tell a different story than the news, than the officials are telling you. And then I promise you that video is probably in some way going to be destroyed. And even if it's not, they will come up with some people who will find those people not guilty. What you are seeing is what Black folks have lived forever. And I know it's probably taking a lot for white people to really embrace it. But you must embrace it because this is a time that you need to develop empathy and sympathy and understand that all along, in some form or fashion, not as badly, you've been in the same position as us. You've never been a part of what the white elite club. You never have. And so it really is, all of us are in this together and we all must fight back. And when this ends, because it will one day, don't know when, don't know what we will suffer, but it will end one day. You need to remember the lessons that you are learning today, or history will repeat itself. Like it's trying to repeat itself right now.
Yep.
Amen.
Yep. But I mean, does she have a point there? Or, you know, white people are, this is something that the reason why, look, this is the reason why we're not as outraged is because, hell, we've been dealing with this.
Traumatized. This is our life. So it's unfamiliar to us. Okay. Meaning it's familiar to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is not extraordinary to us. This is not shocking to us. This is, you know, I mean, some of us are upset about it, but you know, we've been upset about our own for, you know, since day one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
we watch this happen to us over and over and over again, and nobody does anything about it. So now the shoe is on the other foot, and I don't even want the shoe to be on the other foot. I don't even want anybody else to have to walk in the shoes that we walk in. Okay,
Exactly.
so like sis said, hey, let's all come together and let's all walk in the same pair of damn shoes, because it's us against them. It's the elite against the average, everyday, normal American public. It's basically what's going on. And even after if they achieve their goal and make this Nazi Germany again, all the people that work for them, I guarantee you they'll extract them.
That's the reason why why you think they turned on them, you know, during the Nazi time.
Yes. All these people doing
it only worked for a little while.
Right. And all these people doing all this work for them, and they're going to turn on you too. Yep. Even the people watch and see how fast Paw get rid of Pam Bundy and Kristi Noem.
Right.
I predict that they're on their way out the door. And remember the first administration, the turnaround was so much you couldn't even keep up with how everybody was just quitting, and he had to go hire somebody else. And you know, as soon as he hired someone else quit, because some people do have some integrity and morality, and morals and values. I
think they prepped these people before this administration started and said, look, y'all can't be no wimps.
Yeah.
We got some real big plans that we're gonna have to execute on, and we don't need no.
Well, according to the pictures that we saw, this been practiced. You know, this is nothing new under the sun. Like one of the newscasters said earlier, this is the it's the new Ku Klux Klan, and this is what it looks like. But instead of them just being racist toward black people, and you know, burning up black people homes and taking them out, now it's all people. Anybody can catch it now. So nobody's exempt. No one is an exception to the rule at this point.
That part, because you know, originally it supposed to be just the immigrants that was the criminals. Now they making regular everyday citizens domestic terrorist criminals.
Right.
So you know, and like you said, anybody can get it. So you know, if we go out there and we do something happen to us, they're gonna say we were domestic criminals too.
And I guarantee you, I can probably almost 95% assure you that these people that they took out probably don't even have a criminal record, more than likely. And if they do, it's probably misdemeanor and below, because no one is perfect.
Right. Exactly.
Well, you know, they doctored up hers. They created one, made up one about the young lady.
Well, speaking of made up stories, the White House actually posted a fake image of the church protesters that we had saw the other day. So let's look at this. I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna remember who this guy is, but let's look at this video real quick and we'll talk about it.
So what do you think the psychological propaganda political benefit there is for the White House to change the face of this black woman who was arrested by ICE for protesting in that church from stoic to crying hysterically? This is digitally altered. This is AI. It is because they need their terror tactics to look even more detrimental when played out on black and brown bodies.
Okay, so what you think?
Well, remember, I just said remember they said the man, it wasn't fun for them to pull them people over or grab them people because they weren't afraid. If you show fear, then they feel like they won their job. But if you don't show fear, then you no fun.
Well, I feel like that AI will be used a lot in a lot of these arrests if people actually, make it through the ICE ordeal. And this is what the image is going to be. In order to support the narrative that they're going to try to put out, then they have to make you look like that you could possibly be guilty.
Now,
and
that's
you're
one
deranged.
thing. Now, that's one thing, okay. But if you think about how diabolical it is for your government. Now, if you look on the right side, this was the post that they posted on Twitter where she was crying and they say arrested, so this is like official post on them. Why would they use an AI generated image to release what I would consider, I guess, a news story, but with a fake? It's just, my thing is, can we even start believing what we start seeing coming out the White House now? At this point,
We never could.
I mean, we never could, but this is like, obviously, like, what is your angle at you could have just posted the regular picture.
But this is for the base.
Right.
And
they want to make it seem like they're making people suffer, right? They want to make it seem like,
and to make people look guilty and disgruntled and not cooperating, all of it. It's all part of the plan. And if you go down the foxhole and you just stay in the foxhole and you stay in the fox realm all day, and then you go to the government websites and they got all these fake pictures, then all the narrative is
everything
being,
aligns.
the message
Right.
is lining up, and everything, the narrative is just being supported step by step, because it's all a
Right.
propaganda machine. And he's the one who brought the word fake back into play, because remember, nobody wasn't really thinking about the word fake. Now everything is fake.
Mhm.
Politics didn't have nobody
Elections are
described.
fake. The
Nobody
results are
described
fake.
politics as being fake. Now it's fake news, it's fake polls, it's fake footage. Everything is fake now. This is the fake is fake administration.
Right.
So
And if you have anything negative to say about Trump, you have Trump derangement syndrome.
you're deranged. You're deranged because you don't want to be a fascism. You don't
Right.
want fascism in your country, and you don't want to turn to Nazi journey. So now, since you won't go along to get along, then it's something wrong with you, not them.
With you, right? We're not gonna watch this protest clip because we got a lot of reactions, and we can come back if we have the time.
Yeah,
All
'cause
right,
it's almost, it's getting late, ain't it?
10:10.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna look at some people reacting to Alex Pretti's murder, and we're gonna get into it and talk about what they're saying.
I'm not going to post a video that I just watched of the up close other angle of the man that was just killed in Minnesota by ICE agents. But essentially, let me give you the spark notes. He's there filming legally with a woman, another female protester, in front of a daycare center. ICE agent walks up, shoves the woman to the ground for no reason. The man, like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you assaulting a U.S. citizen woman exercising her right to protest? They then pepper spray him. 7 ICE agents tackle him, pepper spray him in the face while he's on the ground, are hitting him in the back of the head while he's on the ground. One ICE agent is whipping him in the face with his pistol while he's on the ground. Another agent removes the guy's gun from his waistband that he's legally carrying, by the way. And then they execute him. They shoot him 10 times in the back while he's laying on the ground and kill him. We have a state-backed paramilitary organization running around carrying out the orders of ethnic cleansing. And anybody in their way, exercising their constitutional right of protest, is subject to being shot down like a fucking dog in the middle of the street. Executed in the middle of the street. And I gotta look at fucking mouth breathers on the internet to perform mental gymnastics to try to fucking justify it because they can't admit that they didn't get what they voted for.
Well, one down. He obviously is like, this is not normal.
Brothers and sisters, comrades and compatriots, fellow Mainers, today I am angry. I am angry watching laws be selectively enforced in our communities, watching the institutions that are supposed to protect us fail to do so. Kidnapping and abduction are serious crimes. Using violence against the innocent, destroying their property, holding them against their will, these are things that we claim not to tolerate in our society. Acts that are explicitly against the law.
Did you not hear what he just described?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Acts that, I mean, kidnapping. Let me go back a little bit so we can.
I'm angry watching laws be selectively enforced in our communities, watching the institutions that are supposed to protect us fail to do so. Kidnapping and abduction are serious crimes. Using violence against the innocent, destroying their property, holding them against their will, these are things that we claim not to tolerate in our society. Acts that are explicitly against the law.
Amen. Amen.
So they out here doing exactly what you and I would get arrested, prosecuted, and thrown under the jail for. This is their job. This is their duty.
And not the regular jail, federal. When you kidnap somebody, that's a federal crime. Right. It's not a state crime, it's a federal crime. No. So they're going around doing all this kidnapping, like you said, abduction, holding people against their will. You know, all of these are federal felonies is basically what they're committing and getting away with it.
And getting paid to do it.
Getting paid to do it
at
with
a premium.
Our tax dollars.
Getting paid a premium.
And with a damn bonus. If they
and
do
remember,
their job.
And also remember the federal judge told them they cannot use any agents anymore, and they're still shooting them agents at people. Them chemical agents. They said do not, use the chemical agents against the people, the protesters, and they're still doing it. Like, forget you. I don't care what you.
Judges' orders are just suggestions to them that they don't listen to. So
basically that part.
Yet at this moment, the only people conducting these acts in our state are federal agents. ICE is murdering American citizens, beating and kidnapping people who are in this country legally, creating databases of activists and labeling them as domestic terrorists. It is daily smashing the First and Fourth Amendments and with no material consequence. And yet we watch leaders and structures of power fail to comprehend the moment in history we are actually in. But you know who isn't failing to comprehend it? Us.
I'm not sorry, because what do you mean? What do you fucking mean? What do you fucking mean? You mean to tell me ICE just fucking shot another person in cold fucking blood on the street? They executed him! I fucking watched it! I don't fucking care who you are! There is a thing called fucking due process, and ICE, isn't it, motherfuckers? Tell me why 5 cops could still do the Sue thing, restrain a man, get him in handcuffs, without unloading a clip into his face while he's dead on the sidewalk! Wake the fuck up, America! Wake the fuck up! Wake up! I'm fucking begging you! Fight back!
Oh
Well,
yeah.
she had me standing in the corner.
Me too.
Like,
I'm clutching my pearls. Hell, I'm scared too. Like, what should I do?
It's like you know how your mom say you don't understand when I talk to you nicely. You know, you only understand when I gotta beat your ass and talk to you crazy.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what I was getting from that. Jesus.
Right.
But she's right and he's right.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is doing anything about nothing. And I want you to make sure, I want to make sure that you have this conversation about, because you said you had some thoughts about the governor.
Oh,
of
yeah,
Minnesota. Yeah, so I want to make sure you don't forget that.
Okay, we'll definitely talk about that. But I mean, I think it really stemmed from watching that black man.
This is not normal. And people with...
I would say it really kind of stemmed from watching that black man make a little bit of sense. Like, you know, these politicians will talk a good talk. And like I said, they call it empanada. Everybody makes promises. Nobody actually does anything.
Exactly.
And, you know, I think that it's one thing to get on camera and say, yeah, go out there and protest. But, you know, the more stuff starts to play out, it's like, is this also to push, you know, Trump's agenda forward? You know what I mean? I kind of...
Is it a concerted effort? Seems
right.
like on it.
Exactly. So, you know, I know that they say the left wing and the right wing are part of the same bird. And, you know, this isn't about Democrats versus Republicans because they are working for the same people. You know?
Yeah, because Hakeem Jeffries sent 8 people over to help the House push the bill over to fund ICE. So I'm inclined to believe what you're saying. They're not on our side, none of them.
Right.
It's like you're picking between you're trying to choose between the lesser of two evils.
Exactly. But they all the same level of evil because they all working for the same plan. So it's like, you know, that's the reason why people are saying we just need a whole new system in place that's for the people.
And you know, you hear about all these states' rights. That's all you hear on TV now. And during election time and when politicians are talking, it's all about the states. Let the states do this. Let the states make their decision. Well, now the states got something going on in them, and none of the states men are doing anything about the states' rights.
Right.
Okay. Because like one of the people said on the videos, where is the National Guard?
Right.
I said that last night also. And so I really don't know how that would play out, because Trump is in charge of the National Guard and ICE, because ultimately he's in charge of everything and everybody, right?
No, wait a minute.
Within certain limits.
Well,
within certain limits he is. And I'm not trying to be too technical, but basically with this regime, he's in charge of everybody. He's not supposed to be, but he is, okay? Because it looked like he's pulling all the strings from the Oval Office. So you go out there and you say what I tell you to say, you go do what I tell you to do. And if it's not him, then it's Stephen Miller that's helping him out. Okay,
well, each state has control of their National Guard. And if that governor ain't got backbones enough to put his National Guards out there on his own, then you got the wrong governor.
But the National Guard is still under the service also, though. I know they can take and put them out there. But what I'm saying is,
even if he put them out there, it's
Right.
it's not saying that if Trump give an order to them that
Yeah.
they won't follow his
they won't follow his orders. That's basically what I'm saying. Because you remember, Pete Hegseth is in charge of all of them. And Trump is over Pete Hegseth. He's the one who appointed him. So I just did.
So
I
would
just
it
don't
really be advantageous to even
put the National Guard? Because now you're looking at more. You're looking at more chaos, in my opinion. And I feel like it would be survival of the fittest when it comes to ICE and National Guard. Are they going to work in sync together, or are they going to work separately? And then you have the state, because the state have state polices, they have local police forces, they have the manpower to go and police ICE, because there are certain things that ICE are not supposed to be able to do within the city. They're not really supposed to be arresting citizens. They're not even.
Well, now they got tanks coming in.
Right.
So,
they got war zone. They got war
zone.
zone. They got war zone materials coming into the and raining war on American cities, and the police is not doing anything. The state police is not doing anything. No National Guards are being called. And so I say, whether it's advantageous or not, well, let's see what orders they're going to follow. You at least have to try. You can't just fold and give up. This looks like straight up Russia. These are the tanks that Russia ride around in.
Those Humvees. Those are not tanks, they're Humvees.
Well,
he bringing in armed. He bringing in armed force.
This is how Russia regime ride around in. You know, they ride around like this on a daily basis.
To scare the public.
To scare the public, yeah. So I may have mispronounced what it was, but this is how Russia. These are the vehicles that they drive.
Ooh.
So, you know, I feel like it's almost like they're practicing for you know, when they really start ramping up their agenda. I feel like they are seeing Minnesota is a good test for them because they can see all the backlash or the pushback that they're getting, and they can figure out what level of force they need to use to make the people submit. And so that could also be, so moving forward, they know how to, handle
They know how to maneuver and navigate, huh?
Okay.
So this is on the job training. Okay, my
Yeah,
bad.
this OJT. Yeah.
OJT, baby.
Okay. All right. Cool. They, I guess they got it going on. OJ. Okay.
Mein Kampf secretly on their bookshelf are going to tell you these are brave men and women, but a person was brutally gang killed on the streets of Minneapolis this morning. I'm not going to play the video because this will get taken down. You can find it all over social media. It'll probably be the next video you scroll to, but Republicans are actively trying to kill you. Democrats are not going to save you. Hell, some of them are funding this. ICE has a $74 billion budget. You can't afford your groceries. ICE has a $74 billion budget. Your landlord just increased your rent. ICE has a $74 billion budget, and gas is the highest it's ever been. What are we doing? You should read this book. If you don't like to read, it's on Audible. I'm sure you can get it for free on Libby. Borrow it from a friend, pirate it. I don't care. You should read it. They are stealing this playbook to a T. Everything they said they were going to do in Project 2025, they're doing. The 7 Democrats who voted to fund ICE further should never sleep peacefully in their houses ever again. I think any politician right now shouldn't be able to walk peacefully on the streets of America. Our world is falling apart, okay? As a kid, I was fascinated with the fall of the Roman Empire. I think it's very cool that I get to experience it, and cool is not a word that I'm actually using literally right now. There are 22,000 ICE agents. There are 340 million people in America. Do the math. There's a general strike in Minneapolis yesterday. Figure it out. We have got to organize. If you know organizers in the comments who are doing cool things, please let us know. This isn't working for common Americans. And I'm speaking to everyone. I care if you support this regime, but they're going to come for you eventually too. The end game is to make these oligarchs, these tech billionaires, richer than God. They don't care about you. We have to wake up.
Well, that's kind of what you were saying anyway. It's just about the elite. It ain't about the, even your race don't even have no.
They don't have no bearing at all.
Yeah.
Don't scroll. I know what I look like, but don't be so quick to judge a book by its cover.
Nah, I did put this man up because he lives in the mountains. He lives in the woods, in the wilderness. And the fact that he, I'm finding a video of him making a reaction to what's going on. All walks of life are feeling this. And it's an uneasy feeling. And I think, for, like you said, Black people, it's something that we're familiar, but not so much. We're really not familiar with this. I think we give ourselves more credit, but I don't think that, we don't give ourselves enough credit for what we've done to build the country up. But I think that, just saying that we're used to fighting and we're strong and all that other stuff, so this isn't anything that really affects us, I think it's a lie, because I think everybody's affected by what's going on right now.
Give me a chance. I'm a 36-year-old white man who lives in the middle of the woods in deep red Kentucky. And regardless of your skin color, where you come from, who you love, your religious beliefs, your sexual identity, I will fight for your right to exist. Period. Last year, I traveled to Europe, and it was my first time out of the United States. And I went to Poland, to the Auschwitz and Birkenau concentration camps. And it was one of the heaviest and darkest and honestly most confusing experiences of my whole life. If you don't know, at the entrance of Auschwitz, there's a huge steel arch that says hard labor will set you free in German, which is obviously a promise that was never intended to be kept. And on the inside of that entrance, they had a German band that would set up and played calm, welcoming music as they brought prisoners in to make them feel more rooms of process. Got there. There's giant piles of suitcases, piles of glasses, and there is a mountain, a literal 2-ton mountain of the slabs where they slept. I saw the troughs where they used the bathroom. I saw the walls that they were executed in front of. I saw the 4x4 concrete booths that prisoners were forced to stand in for days at a time. And I saw the rubble that's left from the showers where thousands and thousands of innocent people were violently taken from this world. And the whole time, all I could think of the entire time I was there is how the fuck did this happen? How was this allowed to happen? How is it possible that so many people done such evil things on a massive scale like that? How was there such a large group of people that could commit such heinous atrocities?
Ain't that crazy when you think about it?
It's crazy, but it's happening right now.
I know, but exactly, that's the even crazier part.
Yeah.
But when you think about it from not even experiencing it, he was saying when he was there before this happened, he was like, how could a society allow themselves to get to a point where they are allowing genocide, allowing genocide of an entire race of people, thousands and and now here we are.
Well, our house is, like I said, our house is on fire and nobody is trying to put it out.
Right.
Nobody is trying to put the fire out.
This is how it happens.
Yeah.
Back then it was a question like,
well,
just
see,
like
everybody got
slavery.
their own agenda.
Mhm.
And that's the problem. Everybody have, and I don't feel like everybody is on board with this, but the people that's doing all this cruelty, they have an agenda. The Democrats have an agenda. Everybody got their own agenda, and they're not looking at the bigger picture.
Well,
The bigger picture is whatever your ambitions are, whatever power you're trying to grab, it's not going to be anything left for anybody to do anything other than to bow down if you don't do something about this.
Exactly. That's their goal, is to have everybody to bow down. Because she keeps saying, if y'all just do what Donald Trump say, you wouldn't have this, basically saying that you wouldn't have this problem. If you listen to him and do what he tell you to do, then you will be fine.
Dangerous place to be. And I mean, I guess we were founded off and built the country off of slave backs. So, I guess we aren't
So we're going back to a full circle?
It seems that way.
It looks that way.
A majority of the people are okay with that. So it seems like there's a large number of people who will be okay with us going
It's not
back.
the majority of the people. It's only 37% of the people. And just like he said, it's 300, what he say is 320 million people here in America and only 22,000 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not the majority of the people. It's a like I said, like 30, I would say anywhere from 30 to 35% of the people are on board with this, but they got, they're loud and proud.
Right. They're
the loudest one in the room.
Right. They're just the loudest ones.
They just the loudest ones in the room, and everybody else is trying to operate like you used to operate, and that's not going to work. You're going to have to come up with new plans. You're going to have to be like Gavin Newsom down what we used to do. This is where we at right now. You're going to have to meet the moment. In other words,
Yep.
Everybody will have to meet the moment, because we're not in old times. This is unprecedented times, and it calls for unprecedented
Right.
measures
Yep.
and solutions.
Right.
World changing atrocities, and truly believe that they were doing the right thing. How is that possible? I've always heard history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. And here we are less than a century later in the United States, watching the rhyme take place in real time, with thousands and thousands of uniformed men dragging people off the streets, claiming they're just doing their job, while committing absolute atrocities. But what's even worse is that there's millions of us sitting at home in the comfort of our warm home, watching it happen in 4K video on our phones, pretending like we don't have an option to do anything about it, and that maybe it'll just go away. I've spent my whole life in the woods. I'm a hunter, and I've spent years of my life in silence, watching the way the animals in nature live, and also the way they die. In nature, there's predator and there's prey, both of which are just trying to survive, and that's the circle of life. But if there's one thing that I've learned in all my years in the woods, it's that humans are the meanest predator that exists. What we're seeing with ICE in the United States right now is like a bunch of coyotes. They're pack animals, and they're viewing the world around them as if they are the predator after a weaker prey. Now stick with me here, because nature teaches us a lot of important things in this context. A baby fawn deer, left alone, unattended, is an easy target for a coyote, especially a pack of coyotes. But do you know what a mother deer does if its baby is approached by a coyote? It fucking stomps it. It protects it with its life. It is a basic instinct to fight back and to lay down your life and protect those who need protecting. And there is protection in numbers. A pack stands no chance against an entire herd. The difference is that in nature, the predators are only hunting for survival. And in the human world, the predators are hunting for pleasure. It's up to us to protect each other, to not let the atrocities that we've seen from the past rhyme so close. Pack animals don't go away. It only gets worse. Once they taste blood, they multiply until they take over the entire land. These are sheep in predator clothing, and it's up to us to speak loud and clear to let them know we're not their fucking prey. We are running out of time. The fox is in the hen house. They're here.
They got a good point.
Scared the shit out of me. I'm serious. I'm like, wow. I mean, he articulated that so well.
Yes,
Right.
he did.
And it's also true.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the
so
scary
true.
part.
Yeah. That's the real scary part of it.
Hmm.
Right. And it was absolutely true. Everything he said. And he just brought it on home, and he used the simplest thing. If you couldn't figure that out, you were just as dumb as a rock.
And see, that's the thing. That's the type of ideology and mindset that MAGA thrives off of, feeling like they are predators and that the left is the prey. You know what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
they feel, yeah. The only thing is that they don't understand is that they are also prey as well. Because once they don't have any more left people to go after, this type of regime is made up off of it having some type of issue, some type of, you know what I'm saying, manufactured flaw. So they can't, in its own, they won't be able to have a peaceful society if they decide to go with this, because it's fueled by outrage and trying to, be the person who resolves all the issues.
That was murder. It's survival of it's every man for himself.
Right.
And he's absolutely right. They're not gonna stop. And you're absolutely right. It's like crabs in a barrel. They're gonna start eating each other up. When they finish us off, then you're next.
Right.
Because it's dynamic and it's evil.
Yep.
Like you said, the fox is running is guarding the damn hen house at this point.
Who was legally carrying a firearm that was fucking holstered while he was filming.
Everybody cussing and mad.
He's now being painted as a domestic terrorist because he took
everybody
a gun
fed
to a
up.
protest. But all these 2A motherfuckers a couple years back were screaming Kyle Rittenhouse's name from the goddamn rooftops. Oh, that was different. Yeah, you're right. He had a fucking rifle strapped to his chest. The man who was shot and murdered by ICE was concealed carrying a firearm that he was legally allowed to fucking have. I am now seeing reports that it's even possible that they disarmed him by taking his weapon out of his holster that was at his 6 o'clock, and then they mag dumped the fucking guy. So if you are legally carrying a firearm and they take that off of your person and then utilize that as a justification to put rounds in your fucking back while you were laying face down on the pavement, then it was never about following the law. The Second Amendment doesn't matter anymore, and you're fucked. So where's all the don't tread on me, two-way, gun-toting, boot-licking fucktards? Or is it just when it's not on your fucking side? So I'm done playing the middle ground. I'm done making first aid videos that just might help, that can be seen by both sides. So fuck it. Fuck Trump. Fuck ICE. We are not mad enough.
Damn. He said, fuck this. I'm tired.
And he said, I ain't even mad. We ain't mad enough.
He said he ain't taking the high road no more. Hey.
No, he
tired
can't.
of the high road.
He can't. He said he can't.
He can't do it no
It
more.
ain't going in. He thought it was gonna lead to a different destination, and he see that,
He said, I'm done showing y'all first aid.
Right, that can help both sides and shit. No, fuck ICE, fuck Trump, fuck MAGA. Look, I don't even want to be around y'all.
He said, we ain't mad enough.
Right. This is not funny to audience. I'm so sorry, but I'm a goof. I love to laugh, and just to see people just this fired up and mad in the way that they're acting, it's just kind of funny to me, for him to be exacerbated. But we all need to feel this way, though. At the end of the day. We all need to get this mad for whatever reason. I'm not saying go out there and do any violence or anything, but we all definitely need to wake up and smell the coffee and see what's really going on. Open our eyes up and see where this country is going, and see all this havoc and chaos and executions and in broad daylight in front of everybody, in front of all the cameras, and just the carelessness and not even caring. Don't even care if anybody see it, and then you go on TV and try to justify it 30 minutes later after you do what you do.
Right. Exactly.
And then you sit back and just say, I read charge and say whatever, and then you turn around, you don't even know the facts. And then when people start questioning you on the facts, then you go,
But you released the official statement. You mean to tell me you released an official statement without having the facts straight? Huh.
That part.
All right. Well.
And she told you spitting out factual facts like So why you can't answer this question?
Right. And she wasn't just asking random questions. She was asking questions based off of their statements.
And she keeps basically telling them to look at the video what we looking at and explain it. Look at this part. You see them moving the gun. So explain it. We're gonna talk around that because I wasn't there.
So the issue I'm having right now is that, on a day-to-day basis, we see hundreds of ICE agents standing up around protests like they just want to go against the damn people. Like, don't y'all have immigrants that y'all should be picking up? Like, what are we really paying these people for? Ooh.
Watch the anger here.
To take us out. Hell, that's what we're paying them for.
This gets back.
Look,
we're biased as journalists, but these officials need to speak.
We're seeing flashbang grenades being shot.
So look, there's a perimeter.
As they got closer.
They trying to push the people back.
To the ICE and CBP again.
And as they push the people back, they go into the damn crowd. What kind of shit is this? De-escalation tactics that people use or something?
We have seen Alex Tabbitt's on the ground. He said,
"No, this is not de-escalation."
In the air, when this started, we saw the ice.
It's literally white.
Tear gas you're looking at right now, or smoke.
Right. I don't even know how anybody can see anything.
They're all masked. They are now moving at some pace.
They're gonna mess around and shoot each other.
Sort of a moving protest. They're moving well out of the area that they've been stationed in all morning now. They look to be at least a block away. You can see people running. I want to just stay on this for 1 second to see where this is going.
Now they doing a live broadcast. And this is looking like a fucking third world country.
All this filming that they're doing, this is for their propaganda film that they're gonna make, like they did with the 22 mules.
This is ICE's job now, to stand up against the civilians and American citizens.
Oh, did you see that? Y'all didn't see that?
Look, he said I'm a United States citizen, and
they
looks
kicked
like won't
him
let
in the
him
face
talk.
and tried to shut him up.
Wow.
Hands on their guns for what?
You're gonna kill me! That's what you want? You wanna kill me? You wanna kill me on the street? You're gonna have to fucking kill me!
You can hear a man that they're holding down on the street saying, "I've done nothing."
So they intentionally moved in on this crowd, and then they have this black man down on the ground, and they're arresting him after they invaded their area. But this is lawful.
They just run it in and then.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They just running in and just start tackling people. They're just running up to anybody. If somebody's not moving fast enough, that's the people they tackle. You know, the ones that get away further, that they can't chase them down. They go after the weakest ones that's not not moving as fast and just tackle them. And then you didn't see where I go. That one of the guys, while he was saying, "I haven't done anything," they tried to knee him in the face, and the guy moved his head. They tried to knee him in the face to shut him up.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what's the criteria for who you select.
They don't have one. If you're the slowest one, that's the one to get targeted.
That's what it seemed like. Cause like it don't look like it's just a black and brown thing.
Wrong. He's saying his name. These are, as Alex Tabbitt was describing, some of these are sort of practiced things where people learn what they're supposed to do if they come into contact with these federal officers. They try and record as much as they can, and they say certain things. Now, what's going on here?
Oh, that's his daughter. She said, "Dad, please."
What a scene. Minneapolis in 2026. David Rode, you were saying the difficulty in understanding what really happened is exacerbated by the fact that people don't necessarily believe what DHS is saying. Let's listen to what this woman is saying.
What's your husband's name? Matthew James.
Oh, that's her husband.
Matthew James, we're not going to let him get lost. Matthew James, Obadiah Allen.
Look at them. What was he saying? I don't even know what he was saying, but he was saying some shit, shrugging his shoulders. Yeah, it's outrageous. These people are crazy, y'all.
They're unhinged, straight up unhinged.
When JD Vance made the statement that they are, they have total immunity, I knew it was going to get worse. I just knew it was going to get worse. When he said total, that was it.
Well, I know we were talking about, I talked about black people and how they feel about what's going on. So I want to share this with you guys of, it looks like a black content creator who probably got a few views and, got his notoriety from being a MAGA. You could tell because of the vile stuff that came out of his mouth, but let's just listen and we're gonna see what the comment section said.
Listen, I don't know if y'all noticed, but the only niggas who are even entertaining this motherfucking against ICE shit is broke niggas. Broke niggas, bro. These niggas are bums. These are bum niggas. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that play the game, and I'm talking about look at anime, them just bullshit type niggas, bro. Niggas that goddamn fuck with weird white bitches like them. Like, come on, bro. Like, hey, bro. Real niggas will never align with these weirdos. Like, these are weirdos and bums and fucking white trash, bro. Just to be honest, white trash. Listen, I don't know if y'all noticed, but the only
All right, so that's what he had to say. I mean, it's just ignorant, but it makes him feel better to call other people bums and weird and I mean, it's like, are you in high school? Like, are you a high school bully?
Who is he
at this
calling
point?
white trash, child?
I guess all the white people that's out there protesting, the American people,
Yeah.
the veterans, the moms,
Right.
the teachers, the nurses, all the people that are out there who actually have jobs and real jobs that contribute to this society being a better place. Those are the people that he's talking about, apparently, because those are
Well,
the
all
people
he
that are out
doing is,
there protesting.
child, all he doing is saving himself for last. Okay. He may have bought himself 5 seconds.
Look,
Right. He may have bought himself 5 seconds by making
look,
this speech, but it's gonna come his way also.
look. I talk shit about the blacks. Give me a treat. Dude, we get it. You love Trump. Look, you see what they got a picture of.
A piece of chicken.
No, this man.
Oh, the man there.
You see what they got him doing.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You see? Yeah. Super cool. When regular cooling just won't do. I'm losing my payday and I might get fired. Not me, I get paid for protesting. Oh, they so stupid. Look, they got the duck tap dancing. Uncle Tom, I think you are the bomb.
Look at that. I like the hat he got on.
Oh yeah.
Toby be good nigga for massa. Good nigga. Don't send Toby away. Toby be good for. Toby be good nigga for.
Did you see what the other black guy was looking like? Did you just do that?
Only the white people in the comments agree with him. He's definitely a felon. Black men are such cowards when it comes to white power. White power always managed to find the one Uncle Tom and plaster him all over the internet when we know damn well black Americans are the most far left people in this country. Shit's hilarious. Yeah, you trying to convince other black people that they not black, that we white, that we MAGA. Sir, plenty of black people showing up in Philadelphia, Minneapolis. I can't speak for everywhere else. Brother is speaking facts. Child. What the fuck anime got to do with it? I wonder if he could vote. Talking about he might be a felon. From one real nigga to another, I agree. These make racists afraid again. What a disgrace. This idiot is an un-American as they come, and he could and should be deported. I'm telling you. Okay. So, yeah, I think that basically this is what, to me, this is what pandering to MAGA looks like so that you can continue to eat off of their stupidity.
That part.
Because
And that's, yeah, because he get paid, don't he? To be on social media.
Yeah, he get paid to spew stupid shit like this. And the only reason why I guarantee you, if speaking up against ICE was something that paid him, was his base, he would be speaking up against ICE. But you can't trust these type of people, and it's sad that people will sell their soul for a little clout.
For 5 cents.
Right.
That part.
Well, that is our show. And
what a show. What a show. Whoa.
Woo, Lord, we went through a lot.
I think I'm traumatized.
I know, right? I know, right? But you want to know what the bad thing about it is? With the more, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because the more we show, I feel like the more normalized this becomes, the more numb we get to seeing these type of images, the easier it may be for us to fall into that same.
I don't know, cause this was a hard show for me, and it ain't no easier yet. So I don't know.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, it's not. When you're reporting it, it's not that easy. But maybe if you're not paying attention to it, and you're just kind of looking at it here and there, then yeah, you can get desensitized. But when you're sitting here watching it every day, I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, no, it definitely tugs on your heart strings seeing people get their rights violated every time you fucking look at the news. You see another,
it's not even the right. It's not even the right. I'm talking. It's the life for me.
Well, yeah, and taking American lives.
Yes, that's what's getting me. It's the life that you're taking.
And he took somebody's life. I mean, the ICU nurse is someone who helps bring people back to life. And these, and he worked at a veteran it's crazy. And he worked at a veteran hospital, and he got taken out by our U.S. government.
And he's a veteran.
The same government that he served.
The same government he served. And he ended up,
put his life up there, and put his life at stake for.
Right. Right.
And then they turn around and call him a domestic terrorist.
And then they turn around and call him a domestic terrorist, like we're in the Twilight Zone. But y'all let us know what y'all think of the show. If y'all still are here, if y'all made it this far, we truly appreciate it. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to all of our channels, Foxy2, Roxy3, I Said What I Said, and of course, Off the Record Media. This was a tough show, but I mean, I feel like we're at an inflection point where something needs to happen before we get to a place of no return, or we won't be able to respond in a civil way. You know what I mean? Like,
we ain't gonna even be able to have this show in a minute.
Exactly, that part too. So unless we move to a different country, which Mexico, Canada.
Ain't nobody letting us in. Everybody say we can't come. Everybody said we are not welcome.
Well, if the president's not welcome, we ain't.
Well, I think they are welcome to black and brown folk. I think what it is doing though is showing. I mean, I think the world is starting to feel a certain kind of way about white people in general. Is this? how
Well,
white
hell, when
people,
you display your worst rotten apples out the bunch, what you think they're gonna be? What
because
you expect
you
them to
heard the
be?
woman from Greenland talking about, these are the
Yes.
white people, white power people, and so they think that the white people
She said they was
are a
greedy.
race. Yes, exactly. But they
And
know
that
that black
going
and
on.
brown people are not the people that they are trying to keep out. You know what I'm saying? I think they
Who they
understand
trying to
who.
portray us as?
Hmm.
They love to portray us as criminals and thieves and grapists and robbers, and we're everything. We're the worst thing under the sun, according to them and the news.
But I think the world, they
It's
know,
all it's all about the hierarchy. They want to stay as the hierarchy of everything.
Nah, this something else. This ain't just hierarchy. This is something else.
right. This is a little deeper. What's going on should send chills up people's spines, because who in a million years thought that we would be experiencing this in 2026? And if this is just the beginning and it's already this cruel, then it can only get worse. You think they're going to tone down their actions? You think they're going to turn down their rhetoric? No. They're going to double, triple, quadruple down.
Hmm.
And what is going to be the end result? Because, I mean, at this point, Americans obviously can't voice their opinions without, potentially getting whacked.
Everybody
So,
going to the concentration camp is what the end result is. If you don't comply, you going to the camp, allegedly.
and will MAGA be okay with seeing a massacre take place on the U.S. streets if
Yeah,
these
they
people
okay with
decide?
everything. They okay.
Like,
Mac okay with any and everything. I don't think they mind at all.
yeah, they
No,
don't.
they don't
No,
mind. They
no.
don't mind at all. No, this is what they voted for. They said.
In fact,
Remember.
they probably get their ass out there to help ICE.
Hmm.
So,
This is what they voted for.
well, we know that stories are constantly developing every day, guys. There's still so much stuff that we didn't even include in this show. So if y'all want to keep up to date with everything that's going on, if y'all want to voice y'all opinions, y'all are more than welcome to subscribe and hit the notifications bell. Do y'all have any closing statements for the people before we get up out of here?
Well, my closing statement is everybody just try to stay safe. That's basically what I can say. Just try to stay safe as possible. If you are going to organize with a group of people, just make sure that your group have a strategic plan, and just try to stay safe and try to stay alive. That's basically all I can say. And it's really been our pleasure to bring you this show.
Yeah.
And to show you the truth, because you're not getting the truth on the media, on national media. They're not running all of the stories. Look like Dana Bash was a little upset, but you have too many outlets that's whitewashing a lot of things, editing things out, giving you misinformation and disinformation. And so just continue to do your own research. Try to stay safe, and if you're gonna be in a group, just make sure your group is organized. And that's all I have to say. And good night, everybody.
And pray.
I want to say thank you all for tuning in. We're going to continue to pray. We're going to continue to try to bring in as much information we can to keep you updated, keep you on point with what we're saying. If you feel that anything we have said tonight is not factual, then I ask you to do your own research. As my brother used to play it on there, do your own freaking research, and then see it for yourself. Because I stop letting the media prove it to you. Use your own eyes and think. Use your own brain. Don't go by what somebody else say. Use your own brain
Thought you
analyze it for
knew better.
yourself.
Do your
And
fucking
believe what you
research.
see with your eye. Research. Right. Do your fucking research. And use your eye. Believe what your eyes are showing you. Believe what your eyes are showing you. And stop being so quick to defend and start actually seeing the truth for itself. And all those that's out here that's dealing with the weather, with the snow, ice, and whatever else weather that's going on, please be careful with your driving. Please be careful, bundle up. Make sure you got everything you need, your supplies and everything you need for this weather. And thank you for tuning in again.
Yes. And with that, guys, and yeah, I know I said, and make sure y'all pray, stay prayed up, but no, seriously, because I think that a lot of you people on the right have started worshiping a false idol who in your eyes can do no wrong. And dare I say it, you guys look at this man like God. So y'all need to definitely strengthen y'all relationships with your real higher power, because y'all are lost souls right now. And
Go ahead.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, you go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say the shoe will be on the other foot, and reckoning is gonna come. But that's it. Go ahead.
It's okay. And I want to thank Miss Rabber Rouser for the $2 super sticker that you sent us.
Oh yeah,
We do
thanks.
appreciate that. Thank you for your support. She said those are the pictures of FAFO.
Child.
Yeah. But we still want to thank her for the support, though. We really do.
Absolutely. And with that, guys, we are out of here. So
Good
see
night,
y'all on the next
everybody.
show.
Yeah, you know what time it is. No scripts, no filters, no fear. We said what we said and meant that. Off the record, yeah, we keep it real. No filter shit, we say what we feel. Politics, stories, truth on display. Come on, we talk that talk in our own way. Off the record, minion the guy, let's go. Foxy to Roxy, 3 she go hard.
I swear on everything, that is exactly what he said right here in the studio. That is the funniest thing I have heard all week.
So hard, Lizzie with the facts she never missed. I said what I said, that's the twist. Off the record, come and catch the vibe. Where real ones talk and the truth survive. Late night truth, we don't just speak. We pull the roots from what they keep. From pain to progress, we light the flame. No spin, no script, we call it by name. Minion bring the vision, Foxy bring the flame. Lizzie drop a seat, it'll never be the same. I said what I said, say it loud, no shame. We taking truth global, remember the name. No apologies, no disguise. Just soul and purpose.